Boop, bop. Boop, and bop. Okay. We good? I think we're good. Okay. Oh, wait. Right back. Pineapple. Okay. Alright. Okay. So, welcome back to Miitopia. Last time I streamed this was last Saturday, and we basically did the pyramid part of Neksdor, but I think we kind of did it early. We didn't do any of the outside bits first, so we don't have all the gems, which means I have to run through some new bosses and get those gems. Also, I do not remember your name, but to the person who was in chat last time and recommended me their friend code, or not friend code, but like their like me list code, I did go through and I think I took a couple me's at the very least. I don't know if I ended up taking the Wii robot, but I definitely took quite a few random me's from in there. So yeah. So there are a lot of, or not a lot, but like there's a couple me's that might end up getting pulled for a character or like a playable character or something throughout the course of the series. So that's cool. Alright. Got me some snurps. I am now going to go down the other paths that I have not yet done. But, yeah, let me think. So, with, you know, everything that we got in that Pokemon Presents, I discussed some of this, or I discussed some of my opinion on it during the previous stream while I was playing Pokemon Unite, which, you know, makes sense. You know, Pokemon, and it was also the same day. But I guess I've kind of like structured my opinion a good bit more. I actually kind of wrote like an outline for what I might turn into a script and make into a video if I want to, but I don't do a lot of those like video essays these days, but like, man, do kind of enjoy it. But yeah, so basically what I'm thinking of with about, and kind of, this is mostly because people have been discussing the game more, and like kind of picking apart the trailer more. So in the trailer we see Wurmple, but we don't see Wurmple as we've ever seen Wurmple before. We see Wurmple sort of using a slightly different design than normal. It has a, like, you know how it has like that yellow forehead spike? It also has one on the back of its neck. Some people have thought maybe it's a texture error or something, but I 100% do not think that that is a texture error, because I have seen how the textures for Pokemon look. Typically, the textures are pretty simple, honestly, at least the ones they've been using. They're a flat color, maybe a shadow version of it, and maybe a lighter version of it. Like, so there's like 3 tones. Would that be a tone? 3 shades of every color, at most. And they're laid out such that it's very easy to say, okay, so this is Weedle. You know, most of the texture is yellow. There's like a kind of oval shaped area that's pink. There's a separate section that has the different types of its eyes, and there's maybe 1 or 2 sections that are white, and those white sections are what get mapped to the horn and the spike, or the spike on its tail, the spike on its head, and the pink section gets mapped to its nose. Maybe there's a couple other pink sections. Maybe there's only 2 pink sections. Maybe there's 1, but some of it gets mapped to the feet. Like, to make a mistake on a texture that already exists, because that's the other thing. They have a Wurmple texture. Unless they've decided, let's change the Wurmple texture. Like, they have a Wurmple texture. There's not really anything they can do to make that, different. Rather, they need to do to make it different. They might increase the resolution, but I don't think they would have, on increasing the resolution, gone, we should make one of the spikes yellow. But the other thing, and a lot of people haven't noted this, the spike on the back of its head is larger than where that pink spike is on the back of its head in its normal design. Which means this is a model change and a texture change. At least most likely. I could be wrong. I could be being kind of tricked by how the angles are set up on it, and maybe that's what's happening here. But I am like 90% sure that this design is not the same one we've been seeing, and it's just coincidentally changed. I think that's what's actually happening. What's definitely happening here is that they said, hey, let's make a new form of Wurmple. I think that's what's happened. I think that is kind of what we're going to be seeing from it. And I think my theory on this, and this is kind of the prevailing theory, is that it means that we're going to get a new Wurmple evolution. But my specific theory is that this form will only ever evolve into this new evolution, and then there's going to be the other forms, or the other form that's going to evolve into Silcoon or Cascoon. Some people are thinking it might be a gender difference, and it's possible. They haven't added gender differences to existing Pokemon since Gen 4, unless you count Eevee. So I honestly, I would be fine with that. I love gender dimorphism in Pokemon. I think it's a great concept. I think honestly it should be taken further than it has been. I think honestly it would be kind of cool if most Pokemon had one, like a gender difference. I just think it's a cool feature, and it kind of harkens to real life animals in an interesting and fun way. But yeah, as far as the Wurmple thing goes, I think that's what we're getting, is a new form that changes the evolutionary path. Now, the other theory, and I don't know if there's the evidence to back this one up as much as I would love this to be the case. But the other theory that's kind of been going around is that they're adding new just forms, like small differences to Pokemon. So, if you catch one, it might look different than another. And another, it kind of gives you more uniqueness. It's kind of similar to how in Pokemon Stadium, if you named your Pokemon, it would change the color palette of your Pokemon. Kind of to make it more distinct, more unique than if you were using the rental. I could see it kind of being a thing like that, where it makes it so that when two people send out the same Pokemon, they might not look the same. But at the same time, the example people are using is that the Pokédex shows a form count for any Pokemon, and that's not been shown. We've seen it for Shinx. And people are freaking out like, oh my god, there's 2 forms of Shinx. There's 2 forms. There's always been 2 forms of Shinx. Shinx has been around with a gender difference since Gen 4, you know? Its entire line has a gender difference that carries all the way through. There are 2 forms of Shinx, and there always has been. This is not the example to cite. If you want to cite an example, you have to find another point in the trailer where they show the dex, where they show a Pokemon that is not, you know, Shinx, you know, and show that it has a form count. It would be much more convincing if, like, Shinx had 3 or 4, you know? But having only 2 variations of Shinx is not very convincing, because that's already what it has. And a lot of things count the female form as separate, because it's a different model, or it's a different sprite, you know? It's indexed separately in the game's data. It just went dark. Sky said bye. Okay, I guess it wasn't... I mean, it was sudden, but I guess we did get a sunset. I didn't notice. I saw it roll back on my phone, but I used to keep track of chat, and I was like, yeah, okay. But yeah. Yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus. It could be doing something with Whirlpool. What exactly is hard to say. You know, and that's just because it's just hard to say when you're, you know, months out from release. I mean, we are 4 months out, no, 5 months out actually, because 4 months out would be December 28th. You know, we are 5 months and a week from this game releasing. There's a long ways it can go before release, and there's a lot of information we can get before release. I am kind of confused as to why they decided to do it so soon after BDSP. I think they should have kind of let that breathe a little more. You know, give you more time for a devoted Legends Arceus sort of plot, you know? Or not plot, advertising campaign. You could now focus on it and kind of share details about the game without it always having to be paired with another game. But yeah, that's not a necessary thing. That's just a thing I think. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why you would release them literally like a couple months apart, but oh, we got forest nuts. Okay. I was not expecting us to miss the cat suit. Okay, we almost missed it again, but we got it. No, wrong one. This one. Yep. Yep, that's him. No, I got my prize. Yeah, I had a feeling. What do you think of nuts? Normal. Okay. You? Ooh. Jenna loves forest nuts. You there. Okay, Oak is neutral on nuts. He's not a nut guy. You know what, fair, I'm the same way. I've never been huge on just like eating handfuls of nuts. I know a lot of people are. Like they'll like, you know, die for some almonds and cheddar cheese or something, and I'm like, I like nuts in things. I don't like nuts as just eating them, you know? Ugh. Like I got some peanuts yesterday at work because I was a little hungry after work, and I'm like, oh man, I'll just eat some peanuts. I love peanut butter. I like peanut flavored things. I like peanuts on ice cream and stuff. It was not a fun. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was like, man, why do people just eat nuts? Like, I mean, I get it. Like, everyone has different tastes. Like, but it's just like I would love, you know, these peanuts if they were like on something sweet or with something sweet. Like I love so much French roasted or French burnt peanuts, which is a type of candy where it's literally you just took a peanut, you roast it till it is dark brown, and then you put it in a candy shell, and that's it. That's all it is. I love it. Amazing. I could literally eat like a pound of those in a sitting. I would probably feel like death, but I would do it because I love French burnt peanuts. Hand me some salted peanuts. Nah, not the same. Not the same. Oh, hey, there's Villager. I wish people would connect the squares a little better. Like, I get that it's really hard to do pixel art in this system, but man. See, okay, it looks fine on the boss. See, that looks great. The Villager Cobra. Nice. Oh, because his eyes are... that's actually mapped to his eyes, so his eyes disappear to have that. See, that is a time I would say best method is you do the entire face stuff on a layer that's above the eyes, and then for the eyes, you do those 2 pixels, and you make the eyes really big. That way, when they emote underneath the rest of the pixel art, and it doesn't make it look as weird, but... I still appreciate the effort that went into this one. Like, look at that. That's great. Boom. Alright. Juice them up. Ooh. We're dealing some good damage to this Villager Cobra. Oh, there he goes. I forgot that I said his thing to smash, please let me in. Oh my god, I love that. Oh, do they hide the nose up in the eyebrow? That's actually clever. That's really clever if they did that. Alright, well. Got energy drain, which drains HP, which is nice. We got enlarged weapon for Gino. Cool. Alright. Not bad, not bad. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited to see what happens with Legends Arceus. I mean, I still have some issues with it. I think the visuals are still not great. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know... it needs to look like Breath of the Wild. And I don't think it needs to look like Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild had a different focus than what Legends Arceus does. But at the same time, we know that it hypothetically could. But, like, it's also not developed by the team that made Breath of the Wild. And the team that made Breath of the Wild's overworld is largely Monolith Soft. And like, actually, well, they did help with the wild area, so maybe they are helping with Legends Arceus some, but yeah, like, I don't know. I don't think it's a huge issue. I think there are worse parts of the visuals than that. I think that, you know, honestly, I'm really happy that they fixed the frame rate issue with distant Pokemon. Because one, that system, like, I think they might still be using it, but I think they fixed how it works. Because I think the way, my theory on how it works, because, you know, we saw it affecting Pokemon that are like right next to you, you know, ridiculously close. Why are they at a lower frame rate? And I think it was literally just a result of the way they lower frame rate. Usually it's distance based. My guess is that they put it in, because maybe it was easier to do this, as if you take up a certain amount of the screen space. Because, you know, if you have a really big Pokemon, you know, say there's an Onyx roaming the map, or, you know, Gyarados, you know, and they're in the distance, they're still going to be big on your screen, but they might be too far to have a normal frame rate. So you might be stuck having this low frame rate and it doesn't look as good, even though they're taking up a large part of your screen. So my guess is that they wanted to avoid that, and their solution to avoiding it was not ideal and kind of just resulted in and kind of just resulted in small Pokemon have lower frame rates more often. Alright, we got another jewel. We got to save Paya. I think Paya is the last one. Is there a path in here that opens? Yes. Okay, so this is where Paya is. That's right. Cool. But yeah. I definitely think Legends, like, I think there's a lot of visual issues it still has. Like, you know, it's fixed that frame rate one with distant Pokemon. I think the biggest ones I have right now are, I think the lighting engine is awful. I think it's the same issue happened with Sword and Shield. I did not like how they did the lighting. I think the 3DS lighting engine was the best Pokemon lighting has ever been. I think it was perfect, beautiful. I think Sword and Shield was a downgrade, and I think that so far this one has also been a downgrade. But at the same time, they have time to fix that and to refine it. I believe there's been some changes since the first trailer. So, you know, it's one of those things. We'll see. 100 gold. Nice. But yeah, I think the lighting engine is probably the worst of it for me. I think the skybox is gorgeous. And someone pointed that out in the first trailer too. I think their skybox is 100% amazing. Like, the clouds have such a unique art style. I love it. I think that is one of the best design choices visually in the game. But the lighting engine just doesn't look as nice as that, which is kind of lame. I'm not gonna lie. But other parts, I mean, obviously muddy textures are a big one. A lot of the textures are very blurry right now, but that's also something that, you know, we have a while left on this game to be shown off. And there's a lot of time for it to be updated in development. You know, these trailers, every time you get a trailer, it is not from now. You know, the trailer footage we got for Legends Arceus is probably, honestly, as old as maybe June, you know? This is not brand new footage. This is not how the game looks and runs right now. There's a lot of time for it to still improve. You know, if that was footage from June, it has more than 6 months of dev time to make that look better. So I don't think it's a huge concern on that end as a result, but yeah, keep in mind, you know, whenever you think about this game, think of it not as out now, critique it like it's out. It has a long ways to go. Game Freak has shown more improvement from first trailer to second trailer on this than I think just about any other game they've released. So I feel like the next time we see footage of it, it's going to look even better. I think it's only going to improve, you know, more and more. And that's my hope, is that it will continue to improve more and more. Honestly, I would like to see this game look as good as it can. You know, I'm not like a perfectionist in my game visuals. Like, I think this game looks fine. You know, this one right here, it uses, you know, the 3DS models for all these enemies. It uses new textures and like bump maps and well, they're probably normal maps. Most things use normal maps these days, but honestly, these might be bump. But yeah. Anyways, I digress. I think this game looks fine. I like how this game looks. I don't think this game is like visually one of the Switch's strongest titles. I think it's honestly visually one of the Switch's weaker ones. But I don't care that much because I like the game. Oh no. Pie. She is a mountain. But yeah. Dang, alright. Good job, Professor Oak. But yeah, as far as that stuff goes, that's how I'm feeling. You know, my biggest thing is I want to see, you know, where this game goes visually and stuff over time. And I want to see how this game develops. I in no way demand perfection, let alone perfection in trailers. I don't trust a perfect trailer, and I don't think anyone should. Dang, Professor Oak is annihilating stuff today. Does this count as an Oak win? This should count as an Oak win. Oh, this was me. Oh, Rizio. How did Rizio do the most? Oh, it did horse attack. That's probably why. Well, as I suspected, it didn't take too long to get these bosses done. Because, you know, they're not the entire pyramid. These are like the easy bosses you take out before you go to the pyramid, and then you fight your way through it and get to the other ones, but it's fine. Art Cookie was not a fan. I thought he would like it. Okay. No one wants to buy stuff. Alright, I guess we'll leave then. Jeez. Oh my god, that was default Paya face. They closed her eyes? How could they? Why? Why would you do that? Alright, Paya, here comes your face. At least they gave her eyes that are basically the right size for the eyes that she has on display here. Honestly, her mouth's about the right size too. I would say her mouth could be slightly larger. But honestly, it's not bad. Not bad at all. It's a lot of money. Alright, so now that we have the rest of the jewels, we can actually go through here and go through the door. Doop-a-doop. All right. All right, so this should be actual boss fight time. So this is a, guess that would mean a Thanos boss fight we're about to be in. All right. Thanos. Thanos, we're coming for your face. Well, yeah. Well, hello, Dark Lord. I thought I'd sealed away your powers. You're a glutton for punishment, aren't you? Razio, stop being angry. You're happy only. Pathetic. Arise, mask of the ancient king. Ancient king, more like King Thanos. This here fiend is one of my most powerful minions. Go, smack them into next Tuesday. Goodbye, Dark Lord Surprise. Thanos. That is disgusting. I do not like it. Nah. Stop. Alright, so what I am going to do, I'm going to naughty pitchfork. I don't think there's a reason to use the MP draining one. Because the MP draining one, like, it drains MP. It doesn't, but the enemy doesn't have MP. Does it? Do they have an MP stat for the enemies? Like, am I draining something that's useful? Like, does it make them unable to do something? I don't think it does. I think it just sucks it up and gives me more. At which point, like, why not just eat an MP candy or something? Yeah, y'all should heal. Yeah, that's fair. Alright, let's do an HP drain. That drains so much. Oh no! Alright. So I've snapped out of that. Oh, the horse is going to snuggle up with me. Oh, bonus. Thank you. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Professor Oak is in an ouch zone. That's what he's in. Eats another banana. But how long is he out for? Did you just knock him out? Stop it. Oh my god, that heals my full health. Oh no, Gino! Alright, well, that's fine. Oh hey, that woke up Professor Oak. That's cool. That's cool. Alright. Okay, so he's just gonna keep making his claws explosive, isn't he? Seems to be the strat he's going for. Let's try the naughty pitchfork. Does that do... That does, like, the same amount. So why would I ever naughty pitchfork when I could drain, I guess, MP? Does it cost more? I don't know how much it costs. Ooh. Nice. Yeah, the middle ones kind of get hurt the most, so I'm not surprised that it only took Gollum until now to need an HP banana. Yeah, it's the MP. Same damage, but way less MP to pitchfork. No. His eyes are so far apart. Oh man, the Rapidash is doing numbers to heal people today. Dang. Horse mounted attack. Oh, we're gonna kill. This just kills. Yeah. That's what my joy feels like. A kick to the face from an actual horse. Alright. You love to see it. Bonus experience I will give to one of them. Even if I was the lowest, because, you know, I'm at the point where I'm about to switch to a new role. Oh, hello. Is it good? No. Every photo you ever take sucks, dude. Why is the roving photographer even in this if he just takes a random... It's literally like a random screenshot. It's not even an interesting one. It's not even at any specific time. It's just like, ah. Boom. There's a screenshot. You want it? 20 gold. It's like, no. If I wanted a screenshot of that anyways, I'd just hit the screenshot button. That's why it's there. I guess it's like if you didn't take the screenshot, but like it doesn't take those at interesting times. Like I would take a screenshot at it. It's just like, why not now? I will give myself the soup. Okay, well, Rizio did not like the soup. Yeah, I'll give you these. Even though we're all about to be split up again, I will do the kindness of giving them new gear. Yeah, I'm not gonna need that much money anyways early on. God. I don't like ripped Golem. Gross. Alright. That's the default Thanos face. That's funny. Because like that, I would not see that and go, oh yeah, Thanos. But I see that and I go, oh yeah, Thanos. So they seem to have like entirely replaced the eyebrows. And they basically constructed the mouth from scratch. Alright, you there, Thanos. Nice. Warhar. Har. Alright, there's Thanos. The G is back in action. That's right, Thanos the G. Oh, the side of his face there, that's weird. Alright. Thanos, you steal no more? He's going to the straight and narrow? Good. Good, Thanos. Look, I made Thanos a good guy. Look at that. What am I? Marvel What If, Star-Lord? Basically. He's going to eat the boulders. Thanks, Thanos. I mean, I guess there's a little ways I have to go anyways before I get to the next stuff. But like, you know, I guess the first world's like that too. Ah. They've been bamboozled. Very nice. Ooh. Well, they did not need Rizio, it seems. They just plowed through that. Look at them go. What a squad. Alright. That might just kill these. Yeah. These ones don't have much HP. Well. I guess this is our victory lap until we're split back up again. I mean, I guess that's in character. That's in character for Rizio. Rizio is an embodiment of happiness. That's his only emotion. He could get all gross and sweaty and be like, "Oh man, this is great. Look at that, I'm so salty." Alright, let's get your relationship. Okay, that's just cold. That's just cold. Professor Oak, stop being a dick. For my next trick, I'll do an impression of Gino. Smash, please let me in. Please. I'm actually going to save the outing tickets just because we're going to be getting to a point where we're going to be getting new characters again, and I'd rather give them the outing tickets to build relationships with. You can get the tea. You don't like the tea. You're the only one who likes the scorpion, so you'll get it. You'll get the cactus juice. Cool. Alright, no one wants to buy anything, so we carry on. Are you going to hit me with a quiz? I would like to play this quiz. Alright, this could be tough. Let's find out. Okay. Starting off real hard. I want to say it's this first one, because I think her eyes are higher up and further apart. I don't think it would be either of those two middle ones. I'm between the first one and the one at the far end. But what I'm inclined to say is that... Well, maybe she is this one. Yes! Okay. Alright, good job, me. I was gonna say, I feel like her eyes aren't that high up. I just got this question. And they're only switching the nose. Is this just gonna be Dawn every time? Like, what's up? Ooh. Well, he's skinny. So that's the base for Gollum. I mean, not bad. That's not a bad base. I still think he should have larger eyes. I get that his eyelids kind of cover his eyes, but like, he's Gollum. He's got the big giganto eyes. You know, he's not sitting like he's like, you know, he's got just big ol' just eyeballs, you know? Got like Gino eyes. Did Gollum drink the water? No. Okay. I thought it would be Gollum because he was not there. I don't like Macho Gollum. Macho Gollum is cursed. Give me anything but Macho Gollum. We're going up because that's the way that the king is. And I believe he'll give me money. That's usually how the king be. Gino, you've been summoned by Rapidash. Well done. Honestly, I think one of the things I'm excited about, even though I don't, necessarily enjoy the type of game that Legends Arceus is, the new Pokemon and new forms, those excite me because those will probably show up in other games as well, through some sort of shenanigans that bring them in. Oh, he gives us food. That's right. I literally had the exact same thought the last time when I was playing this on Switch for the first time. I'd played it on 3DS, and I was like, oh man, I bet he's gonna give me more gold. And then he was like, have my food, and I was like, I guess that makes sense. Okay, thank you for letting me know. I like the foods, so I'll get the foods. That's fine with me. Yeah, Goblin Ham. You like Goblin Ham? You're okay about Goblin Ham. You like Goblin Ham? You're okay about Goblin Ham. Well, you'll get more, because you are the one with the need for attack. Bop. No. Okay. Well, then we're off. To the king! Give us your food. Yes. 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 I have been infooded. I thought he said I have a shoe in my hole, but I think he said I have a hole in my shoe. But I don't think he's wearing a shoe because I think that was Gollum. He's not wearing any shoes. But that's fine. Oh, we set up camp? Okay, you're the one who picked it. You'll eat it. Not a good one. Not a good shroom. That's your own fault, dude. You ate the bad shroom. You picked the bad shroom. If the bad shroom doesn't like you, that's not on the bad shroom, that's on you. Alright, that's just gonna kill them all. Yep. That's a lot of gold. Because I think once you start hitting the jade butterflies, you start getting a lot of gold from them. Nope, never mind. Then it has to be the gold ones. I thought the jade ones gave more... But it might have been like a jade, some gold ones or something. I don't know. Soon we'll get to the point where we get a lot of gold when we fight butterflies. Easiest way to farm money in this game is to take the path that has the many gold butterflies. All right, well, we made it. Squad out. Goodbye, squad. Bye. Okay. So what shall Rizio become this time? I'm not gonna have him become a flower because I did that in my last run. Do I make Rizio a princess? He has a masculine name. But I think he would look nice in princess dresses. Look at him, he's adorable. Yeah, we'll make him a princess. And the little tiara thing is, I don't think that's ever going to get in the way of his ears. So I think that's an optimal choice. Alright. The squads, they unite. We now have 3 Pokemon characters in there. Nice. Well done, me. Alright. Yes, they are. You couldn't tell by the fact that each of your parties has someone who's ripped? Come on. It's obvious. Alright. If I remember correctly, the next set of 3 that I get, the last one takes a while. So I'm probably only going to get 1 or 2 during the rest of the stream. And I still have a ways to go on this stream. So, like, this should be interesting. Yeah. I'm going to save the roast for someone who's going to get more benefit from it. I don't think Rizio is the most in need of the stats it gives. Alright, Riz, let's go. Riz and Rapidash. Riding into the realm of the Fae. Let's do this. Oh, the Macho Gown is the most cursed. In my other save on my Switch version, I have Danny DeVito as a princess. And Macho Gown Danny DeVito was the most horrific thing I have ever seen. Conceptually, I enjoy it very much. Visually, I hate it with a burning passion. Captain Falcon loves Nintendo. Nintendo just doesn't love him back. He plays all their games. He loves being in Smash, but they go, nah, we don't know what to do with you. They just let him be. You know, Captain Falcon cries himself to sleep every night. But that's okay, because we have a twerky now. And that's all my brain can think of at this moment, is that there's a twerky on the screen. I love telling people who have no clue what Miitopia is about the twerkies. It is hands down like my favorite enemy design in this game, because it is the most ridiculous. It is the epitome of the insanity of this game. Like, whoever on the team said, we need a twerking turkey with a big gigantic butt with a mouth where its butthole should be. Who on the team said this, and who greenlit it in a game like that is what, like EE10? How did this game get rated EE10 with like the ESRB, you know, seeing the who looked at the twerky and said, now that's for kids? I think they do at a certain point. I don't know if the first twerky type has it. I think there's another one that does. Alright, so we've got a whole bunch of potential Miis. Oh, I think I took the Switch Dog. That's what I took from the person who was on last stream. Sonichu has taken on a much more cursed existence. I might remove the Sonichu Mii. Yeah, that's right. It is 18 plus in Russia, because you can have gay characters, and that's a no-no there. Yes, that is true. See, the Sonichu should not be here anymore. Sonichu's too cursed. So we need someone who's not Sonichu. What roles don't we have? We've never had a warrior, we haven't had a tank, and we haven't had a flower. I think those are the 3 that remain. So, those are what we got. Warrior, tank, and flower. There's like a part of me that wants to do like Ganondorf as like a warrior or something, or like that's I would do that, but it is such a long time to make a new Mii. Because that's the type of thing I'd considered doing and like putting it in. Oh, okay. So like you send the Miis. I might do that. That is more reasonable. I'm not going to be able to do that immediately, and it would most likely result in characters showing up then as NPCs, just because there's not a lot of playable characters left. But yeah, that's definitely an option if you have like a Switch, you know, Miitopia Mii set code. I don't look at those on stream, but every day after my stream, if someone drops their their code, I will take a look and put it in. Exactly. We will never know who... What if Miyamoto greenlit the Twerky? What if it was Miyamoto who said yes to that idea? I don't know who made it, but what if Miyamoto himself said, this is what we need? He just like stepped into the dev room, saw someone drawing a butt turkey, and he was like, that's the one. That's the one. All right. So we got tank, we got warrior, we got flower. I'm trying to think of who could reasonably be any of those. I can also randomize. That's the other option. He does have kids. A lot of the people on the team probably do have kids. That is a great potential reason for those characters. It could literally just be someone's kid was like, I want you to make a butt turkey. I want it to wiggle its butt. Yeah. And they were like, that's it. You've done it. Macho Princess is more cursed than Macho Cat. That's true. I think last time we had random ones and it was less satisfying. So does anyone have a pick of these Miis that we've got here? You know, everyone starting here and running down as a potential character. It doesn't have to be Pokemon themed. Don't worry about that. Red as a tank. All right, that is an option. Any other ones? If not, oh no. Okay, Among Us Red. I thought you were gonna say Pokemon Red. I was like, him as a tank. I could see a Mogus tank. That could be entertaining. All right, here I'm gonna write down that code. Yeah. 1DJ C03B. Cool. All right. Any other votes other than Among Us Red as a tank? I do enjoy that one. All right, going once. Going twice. Yeah, if you want to send your Mii codes, I won't look at it on stream, but immediately after the stream, I will take a look. I'll pull some characters if I think there's ones that look, you know, particularly interesting, or if there's any that you specifically want me to look at. If I look at it and go, yeah, I'll take that. That is definitely an option. All right, but I'm not seeing any votes. Oh, Piranha Plant as the flower. Okay. All right, now it's got interesting. All right. Here, I'm going to, as a result, I'm going to do randomizer. I'm going to do a coin flip. All right, so we're going to say heads for Piranha Plant because it's a flower with a head, and tails for Among Us because when they die, they're just an ass. All right. Coin is flip. We get heads. So the flower wins out right now, but Among Us as a tank is definitely still like on the docket as a potential one. I'll even write it down, Among Us tank. So if we get another one today, then that will happen that way. If we get another one later, I will keep this note so that I won't forget. How does one describe a Piranha Plant? Yeah, Piranha Plant as flower does make a ton of sense. I feel like Piranha Plants are basically like they don't think, they just bite. They do sleep a lot. I'm not gonna lie, laid back. That's kind of, that fits the Piranha Plant more. Yeah, they sit in pipes, and in Mario 64 they sleep all the time. And Sunshine, I think, you know, like the first time you fight Petey Piranha, he's asleep. So yeah, let's do that. We'll do laid back, and then we're going to give him the flower job. Oh, that is horrifying. I love it. All right, we're gonna make piranha plant a flower. How did they do that? What? That's amazing. Okay, okay. So, what they did is they have another lip underneath the open mouth, which is ascribed to like lipstick or something like that. And so, when he like closes, like when he opens his mouth to talk, that one disappears, and the lower lip one is visible. That's so cool. And there's even like they put detail. Oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah, the hat can be taken off. I think the main thing I'm gonna do though is I'm just gonna recolor the hat to a reasonable color for a piranha plant, because like then he kind of gives Petey vibes, you know. If you give him like Petey piranha colored leaves. So that's what I might try to do here. So I might just change his petal color. See what that looks like. And if that doesn't look good, then we'll just remove it. Alright, let's see. Piranha plant. Can I not change how that... I guess I can change how that looks. Alright, then in that case, I'm just going to take his hat away. His dots float. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, if you want to check your Mii's, like your Mii list code, if you just check the he has a beard. Yeah, to check your Mii list code, I think it's you just go to on like the main menu of this, you check the Mii characters section, and then there's an option you have to turn on to allow sharing of your Mii's, and then that will make a code appear, and then you just have to type that code in to chat, and I'll be able to access it and download any characters that you don't have private. So private characters that you don't want me to take or look at. That's true. I could change the favorite color, but I think for now it's okay to not have anything on it, and then we can just, if we get a chance... Oh no, no, don't, no! Anything but the ragged gown. No! Right, I'm a fool. Oh my god, hey Keith.
Hey, what's up?
I accidentally got a bad.
Bad?
Yeah, I got a bad.
Oh.
I did a bad. I decided to roll for a gown that I didn't need, so, but that's okay.
Was it a pretty gown?
No, it was made of burlap.
Well,
and like twine.
I mean, I'm not a fashion expert, but I feel like someone, if they were skilled, they could make great dress out of those materials. I mean, I've seen people make pretty clothes out of garbage bags, so I don't know.
I guess that's fair. Okay, piranha plant does not like the honey. Well, that's a shame. Gotta get someone who likes honey. Alright, I am going to... I'm not gonna use all my outing tickets, but I'm gonna like boost my relationship some.
I'm trying to go study with Piranha Plant.
Yes, I just got Piranha Plant, and I want us to like be friends, but like not. I don't need to spend all my outing tickets going on dates with Piranha Plant. You know, we gotta like have like a, you know, a healthy amount of distance. You know, you don't want to get codependent with a Piranha Plant. It's a bad idea.
All right. I mean, like,
forgot, Piranha Plant needs a...
which character would you go all in on?
I don't know. Alright, here, I gotta give Piranha Plant a catchphrase. Can I do that here? I can. It's just gonna be Chomp.
Chomp? Not Slurp?
No, Piranha Plants don't slurp.
I guess they don't. Are there any Mario enemies that slurp?
Maybe I could see Toads. I feel like Toad would slurp.
No, Toads don't slurp.
I feel like if you gave Toad a bowl of soup, he'd just be like.
Yeah, I can see that, but I'm thinking like well, aren't there like enemies with like big, I don't know, tongues or like
Boos.
Like, Boos?
Boo would slurp. Boo slurps.
Boos would slurp all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah, don't give a Boo a bowl of soup.
They'd slurp it up real loud.
Alright, what is a Piranha Plant? I feel like that's... It's really interesting how they did the Piranha Plant. They set the mouth such that like there's a layer underneath it that looks like a lip. So when it talks, the mouth parts disappear, revealing the other lip, so it still has like the impression of its mouth opening and closing.
So like, yeah, that's good. They like animated it properly.
Yeah, like whoever made this design.
They definitely like tested it out again.
Oh my god, he looks so stupid. I accidentally went to look at his me. Alright.
Oh no.
Much better. Yeah, that is genuinely an impressive amount of effort that they put into that. Cool.
And it just goes to show how terrible the other Miis are for not doing that.
I have seen a horrible Piranha Plant me. It was used in my first run as a character because it was like, oh man, this is a pretty good Piranha Plant, and it was awful. It was like it looked awful when it spoke. It like, I mean, there was a lot of hard work put into it, but like it didn't look like this.
It's like,
you know,
it's like Dawn. You know, like she looked fine.
And then
for, like,
she
the
animated.
character select, but then like the moment she started walking around, you're like, oh, it's not right.
Wait a minute. I literally spent like 20 minutes fixing Professor Oak because he also had an issue like that. Where his eyes were too small, like his actual eyes. So when his eyes would animate, they would be tiny. And the same issue was with his mouth. So I had to make a larger mouth that I could hide well enough on his face. And so I put that there with his mouth. And you can't notice it really the way I did it. And then I just made large eyes, and they're just behind the eyes that were designed for it, and it looks fine when he animates now. It looks weird when he doesn't have those eyes, just because his eyes are really far apart because they're so big, but like, you know, there's not much avoiding the eye distance when you're working on like an anime character whose eyes are far apart because they're big. But
I guess. I would love to see more like Nintendo games use like the makeup system.
honestly, I think that this system for me is really needs to be expanded across more things. Like, if Smash Mii's had this level of customization to their faces, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Because then,
I understand, but like the other thing is, like, I also totally understand, like, not every game wants to have this level of customization, because you could very easily, like we were talking earlier, like, remember, like, we had this conversation before, and like, the system could very easily be used to like just make something very inappropriate, and it'd be impossible to moderate that.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, and like, I guess you could, like, it's kind of hard to like make, you know, a normal like me that like looks offensive, other than just like, I don't know, kind of gross looking face. But like with this, you could literally just like write "fuck you" on some enemy's face.
That's true.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could just like, literally make their face like a dick.
Yeah.
Like, I've tried to do the best I could to do that in the main system, with this added on top, I could literally make Synap actually just look like a Nick. And like, you know, that, and I would never use Synap in like Smash online because I don't want children to have to deal with that. You know? So like, yeah, definitely get what you mean on that. Like not having it can honestly be beneficial in a lot of ways.
But it is definitely, I think it's a great system.
Yeah. Like
It's
I
almost
think it's so good.
powerful. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem with a lot of like online kind of like things is like I think it'd be a cool system. Like maybe they could have it where it's just like, okay, you can use makeup and stuff, but only for offline games. You can't wear makeup for online games.
I could see something like that being implemented instead, because then it kind of makes it less of a problem, you know, at least less of a potential problem having these highly designed characters. No.
That way, if you want to play, I don't know, like Mario Golf or something, you still have your Mii or your Professor Oak or whatever, and Mario Golf, all pals. But like, if you want to go online and play Mario Golf, like you can play like the single player campaign, fine. But if you want to go online with it, it's
yeah.
yeah.
I see now. So in chat, it was mentioned that it looks like Piranha Plant has a beard when he like leans his head up because the lip, you know, is flat. You can see the shadow that they put to put the rest of like the depth to the mouth. And it kind of does look like a like there's just like some fuzzy beard there. That's funny. Alright. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to randomize so many characters soon. We're about to get to the next town. There are many characters there. I'm gonna pull up the... Was it a D20 and a D6? Here, I'm just gonna look at it.
Or are you picking new characters?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pick a bunch of new ones once I get to that town. I need a D6 and a D20, Google. Alright. Why did I give him an HP banana? He didn't even need an HP banana.
Because he's your friend, Jordan.
I guess that's fair. Ah, yes. Another Twerky.
If I had an HP banana, even if you had full HP, I'd share it with you.
Thank
I
you.
had an extra one, though.
That's appreciated. The fact that the Twerky was able to even be put in this game that like has never been rated higher than E10. Like I don't even think it is E10. I think it's E. But like at most it's been like E10.
Working turkeys. It's just a dance move.
Okay, but the mouth is put where his butthole goes.
That's your issue with it?
It's like if they just put a butthole monster. It's literally a butthole monster. That they just put in this game. Like, it amuses me to no end, but it's totally just a butthole monster.
Maybe.
Okay, well, I killed one butthole monster. Oh, okay, I guess they do enrage.
Wait, did it just fart?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. It
honestly,
blew
I
a
don't
fart
think
out
that's
of its mouth.
inappropriate. It's just crude.
It is definitely the crudest humor I've seen in like a game like this low rated. I don't even like. What is? I don't remember if this game's even E10. I think it's E, but it might be E10. Is there a way to check? Can I check?
I have to imagine this is E10, right?
Does it say in here?
Important information.
No, I went to the wrong one. All right, well, this might have it because this would have a bunch of different things. No, it's just the companies that worked on it. Okay. Do they have a? Nope, they don't have the rating in here. What are you rated? If I view it in the eShop, maybe, but that's too much work. That's too much work. I can just Google it on the computer. Oh. Piranha Plant's hiding. You know what? That's very Piranha Plant of it.
It's the first Nintendo-developed game to receive both a for all ages and an adult rating from different rating agencies.
Yeah, because in Russia it's rated as 16 plus because you can have gay characters.
18 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, because any LGBTQ plus representation.
It immediately is labeled adult in Russia, yeah. Like, I feel like it was already on thin ice because you could make any character the princess class. And then, like, making it so that your characters can be gay definitely was like... Russia was like, nope.
Yeah. I would say, I would think, like, the average age for this game would be, like 5 and 10 protected, or like minimum, I guess.
I would say that's a solid minimum point. Yes, their bond is as strong as their muscles.
They do the sideways hopping
Together.
Yeah. That's something I don't think I've ever had to do. Is that something you've ever had to do?
Yes, but not in that way. We would do it in gym class sometimes when I was a kid. It would be like we would be standing along one of like the basketball court lines, and we would hop back and forth on opposite sides of that sideways. But we wouldn't have like two lines that we'd be hopping between or anything, or like 4 lines set up.
Well,
like, it was just one line that we would feet together hop back and forth.
A lot in like anime video games.
Oh yeah, like I feel like those side hops are definitely like a.
It's gotta be like a national like test or something, right? Because like
yeah, it's gonna be like a standard curriculum thing in Japan.
The Scram Pacer test meme that like every
yeah
kid how to do, right? So,
I remember that.
I'm sure there's like similar like national requirements in Japan, and I feel like that's got to be one of the things on there. Is like side hops. Right?
Yeah, because it's like it's in everything.
It's in every like
literally
like
it doesn't even need to make sense. It just shows up.
Right.
It shows up multiple times in One Punch Man. It makes sense.
One Punch Man. It shows up in My Hero Academia. It shows up.
God, it's everywhere.
Like everywhere, yeah.
All right.
It's like a thing you did at gym in Japan, apparently.
8 characters need decided. All right. I don't think 4 is a high enough number.
The Fabulous Fairy Fans.
Here, I'm gonna start counting basically at like, well, no, because it does show them that way. Never mind. I was thinking that it was gonna lump all the ones that are used together because it does that for when you have your own characters for your team. But okay, so this is 4 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I feel like I've had Ganondorf be an elf twice now. It amuses me, but I've had him as an elf twice.
You gotta start thinking of new content, Jordan. Otherwise, people aren't gonna tune in. I've seen Ganondorf as an elf too many times now.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, well that's as high as it goes, so Rolf gets in.
New Smash character, Rolf.
Yes. Alright, we got
This is
Toby.
exactly how Nintendo chooses.
This is how Nintendo does it. They make a bunch of Miis with different names, and then they just randomly pick them.
It's just roll a dice.
And then they make a real version of that character. Okay, so this should be 5 at bottom. Alright. I'm actually going to do it such that if the other ones at the bottom are used, like, it just goes up until I meet the next one. Because that's easier than re-rolling, like, 20 times.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, so
it
Hank...
makes it... I mean, yeah, like, it does skew it to be for, like, characters that, like, are above ones that have already been picked or slightly more likely to
That's
get
true. That's
But
true.
it doesn't fucking matter, Jordan.
It's I'm not doing it to be perfectly random. I'm not doing this
Like,
to be
you're
fair.
not
I'm
winning
doing
a
this.
lottery, you're just picking things at random.
Yes.
You
All right.
basically
1 and 10. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
If you really wanted to do it properly, you'd like. I think there's like a program you can use for like pulling names out of a hat, and then you
Yeah.
would just put in all the names. You would type in the names of every me in the list into that program, and then roll it. And then every time you
Oh,
start
no.
the screen, you'd have to remake that list. And...
I'm not doing Sonichu. I refuse.
Really?
I'm
You're
not
not
doing
doing-
Sonichu. No,
Why
not.
did you add it? Why did you
I
download
had Sonichu before the new Chris Chan stuff came out, and I was
Oh.
like, I can't
Alright,
feel
alright.
I can't feel clean putting Sonichu in this save. All right, so that makes Toshinori or Switch Dog the closest. I think Toshinori's closest, so I'll give him priority. Scared All Might. We've got 6 and 2. Okay. Fair enough. Yes, she's very green-eyed. Very. Alright. The lazy character is 6 and the bottom. So that's Metroid Steve.
3.
Why is Steve lazy? Steve, you gotta, like, survive or something. Or maybe he's in creative mode. Maybe that's why. Maybe he's just hanging out. Alright,
Creative
1,
mode.
2,
Have you
3,
seen the stuff
4,
people
5,
make in
6,
creative mode?
7.
Those people aren't lazy.
Yeah, but I feel like if Steve was canonically... Alright, Hamtaro's the mischievous witch now. I feel like if Steve was just as a character existing in creative mode, like not a player creating stuff, I feel like Steve would just chill. You know, he'd
really
make
sure
himself
what
a
you
nice
mean.
house. Like, you know, because it's the player who goes, oh yeah, I'm gonna build like a castle. But I feel like Steve would just be like, I don't know. Like, what would you do if you had unlimited resources that you could fly around and put places? Would you build a castle?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Especially if I didn't have to worry about, like, you know, finding food or getting a job or anything else. Yeah, I'd do that. That would be a good way to, you know, end my
Fair
time.
enough. I guess that's
Right?
fair.
That's the whole point of creative mode.
It's a good way to spend your time. Minecraft creative mode. A good way to spend your time.
Right? Like, think how quickly Steve would get bored if he just sat in his house all day for, like, years. After a while, he'd be like, I guess I could go out and build something,
I guess.
you know, in this world with unlimited potential to build stuff. I have
my
ultimate
God.
power.
I need to do 3 more. Did I?
Yeah.
I didn't close the die at least. Okay, good job, me. I was like, did I close the thing? No, I didn't. All right. The oldest is going to be 2 to the bottom.
Yes,
Okay. Handsome Squidward. I'm fine with that. Alright. The middle. 6, and the lowest one.
Bottom right corner. There you go.
And then youngest 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sure. Done. Well, it's a cursed bunch we've got. Please, Lady Handsome Squidward. Ganondorf has died.
Oh, that's good. I mean, he's evil, right?
You've killed me. Good.
Yeah, good.
All right, let's go check out the town.
Oh my god! I remember someone was complaining about how hard it is to be Ganondorf in Smash and how he's so slow and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, but he's Ganondorf. He's evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's why are you upset that Ganondorf Ganondorf's mom has a hard time in Smash Brothers? He's evil. Committed genocide a few times now. Why are you playing this bad person?
He has committed genocide in multiple universes now.
Yeah, a few timelines.
Not even different. Even just he's gone to an alternate reality version and committed genocide there. No amount was enough.
He would commit ultimate evil if possible. He's not a good guy. So why do people like him in Smash? I don't get it. Are there any Bowser? Bowser, he's kind of mean, and yeah, he does some evil stuff, but he's also a dad. He's a good dad.
He's a good dad, but he also commits genocide.
What? When does Bowser commit genocide?
Do you know the brick blocks in the first Mario? And every Mario, really?
Uh-huh.
Canonically, they were toads at one point, and Bowser turned them into brick blocks that Mario then destroys.
I don't know. That sounds like some Mushroom Kingdom propaganda. I don't believe it.
I don't know, man. That's what the guide said. The
guide. Yeah, you trust the guide.
I trust what Nintendo published in its little guidebook on the game.
You know what else Nintendo said? Nintendo said that Mario and Luigi were plumbers, but then they're like, nope, now they're not.
No, they still are. They are in 3D World. They fix a pipe. They literally pull out a wrench and a hammer and fix a pipe. That is what plumbing is.
If I take up my trash, does that make me a garbage man? No.
No, but okay, if you carried a garbage truck around with you, if you drove around in a garbage truck and didn't pick up garbage, but then someone left their garbage on the side of the road and you're and then you threw it in the garbage truck, I don't know if that feels pretty garbage man-y.
It definitely does not make me a garbage man, Jordan. Sorry,
yes, it does.
This analogy doesn't work.
It does.
If I just happened to own a garbage truck, drove it around, but wasn't at any way, shape, or form sanctioned by the city, I had no right nor reason to be picking up people's trash, but just on a whim decided to do it anyways, because, I have the truck, why not? That doesn't make me a garbage man. Or sanitation worker, I'd say. Probably a better term for that job.
Are you saying you're not worthy of the thin green line?
Yeah, I don't work for waste management.
You have a garbage truck. You're picking up garbage. You're a part of that line, protecting us from garbage.
Definitely not. I don't think Mario is a part of a plumber's union. I highly doubt that.
Oh, that's because Mario's anti-union.
Yeah, Mario's definitely But
Luigi on the down low is very pro-union. I feel like
Well, I think the
What if-
funny lore is that like Mario used to be a plumber, but then he got rich, you know,
And so he
with
stopped
his
plumbing.
connections, and now like he's just like parties with like all his friends every once in a while, and like invites Bowser because like they used to be enemies, but now they're not. Right?
I feel like
I mean, how else do you think Bowser got invited
what
to
if
like Mario?
what if
'Cause, like,
Bowser
Mario wasn't
is
very-
actually in charge of a plumbing union, and like Mario keeps coming in to like stomp him and be like, no
What
unions
evidence
for
do
you.
you have?
Bowser
Bowser's
makes
in charge?
pipes. He lays pipes all the time, like literally,
I guess that's
and he's like he puts piranha plants in pipes. Like I feel like if someone's gonna make a
I feel like that's the
pipe-based
opposite of
trap,
plumbing.
but I feel like if someone's gonna make a pipe-based trap, they're gonna know pipes. But then like also, there's a lot of times he's like out there using pipes and stuff. I don't know. Cannons are just
Wait, are you
short,
saying-
shooty
hold on.
pipes.
What? Wait, are you saying that Mario is the opposite of it? That all the enemies who are running around
Are
or what you
actually
think of as
plumbers.
enemies are actually plumbers, and Mario is the only person in this universe who isn't a plumber or just hates plumbers and is just going around wrecking.
He used to be a
Mushroom
plumber.
Kingdom's plumbings and stuff.
He
Or
used to be a plumber, but now he hates.
Then he got rich and
plumbusing.
famous, and now he's like, no, I don't want people to unionize. So now he goes around bonking all the
Yeah.
pump in their heads.
He fights off the plumbers union.
Shit. And then he tries to get them to work against
Like
each
that's
other.
why all the enemies are coming out of pipes because they're like working in the sewers and pipe systems and stuff. You know, like it's just a
Exactly.
Goomba coming out of the pipe. He's like ready to go home at the end of his day of work.
Mm-hmm.
I have another
oh my
me.
God. Shit, you're right.
Alright. Among Us was chosen. I feel like if I was an Among Us character, I'd be pretty cautious.
Yeah.
And they were chosen for a tank. Yes.
You randomly rolling all the kills.
This one wasn't randomly rolled. This one was suggested in chat.
Oh.
I randomly chose between the two suggestions, and the first one that won was Piranha Plant. Honestly, I kind of like the Among Us character, like where the rest of their suit is just a tank, but they're still wearing the helmet. I don't know why. It's just funny to me.
Yeah.
All right, Amogus time. Okay, I can get something useful here. I got something useful. Piranha plant. PD piranha's like petals. They're orange, right?
What?
What color are
Is
PD piranha's
petal?
petals? Yeah, PD piranha. He's got the petals.
They're... What? What the?
Yeah,
I don't
look
think
up-
he has.
This is like thing. He's got a big old belly button. He's got petals and a diaper thing.
Oh yeah, he does kind of have. Yeah, they're like yellow.
Okay, I'll go for the yellow,
Yeah.
yellowish one here.
Yeah, they're like yellow with like red outlines.
That's right. That's
guess-
right, bro.
yeah.
Like the reddish orange color.
Yeah, I guess it does have petals. Huh? That's weird.
I'm gonna go on a date with Among Us. I don't remember where I chose to go.
I looked up PD Piranha, and like literally the third, like top result. There's like some images, and there's like some deviant art, and like someone like we see is like stuck down PD Piranha's. He's like hugging the belly button.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
like, if I was Nintendo, and I was looking up one of my characters' names, and this was like one of the top images on Google, I'd be a little upset.
That's why PD Piranha didn't get in Smash. Instead, they made a basic Piranha plant get in Smash and made PD Piranha the final Smash.
It's like, is this really what people think of PD Piranha?
Yes.
And
All they do is they stare at the belly button and go, "Yep. I want to hug that from the inside."
no, it's from the outside.
Oh, it
it's
is?
Just
Okay.
like it's like he's sitting in the piranha's like diaper thing.
Oh.
The
Oh,
kangaroo
okay.
pouch. Yeah.
That's
Except he's
deviant
like,
art.
you know, like instead of like the kangaroo sitting, you know, like little Roo and Winnie the Pooh, instead of like the like the kangaroo like facing outwards, it's facing inwards. It's like hugging the belly button. His face right up against it.
That's very cursed.
Yeah, it's not.
That's
the
not the
worst.
most. Yeah, it's not the worst.
It's not
But-
the worst. It's not like explicit. It's
It's
probably,
just
it's not even-
weird.
probably like even I would argue like I feel like this is safer work even, but it's not. It's definitely not what I would expect Nintendo would think of as on brand.
Yes. Could you imagine if the art was done by a Nintendo artist?
No, this is like official artwork from some really bizarre Nintendo game I've never heard of.
PD Piranha's Diaper Diner.
It's like only released in Japan, and it's just like, yeah, we don't want the West to know about PD Piranha's secret.
What is this?
Diner.
The Tingle games? Have you heard about the Tingle games?
I have.
They're
really great.
ridiculous looking. Yeah, I like. There was like a Facebook page that I like followed way back when that the main
Back when I
admin,
used to play
like it was, I guess it was like this because it was like a fan page for like Skyward Sword mainly because it was like it started as a Groose fan page, but then
right.
the like the admin also wanted to like play other things because for a while he'd been doing like 3 heart runs of different games and like making like different comics of it, but like the I know someone who's gonna get healed. The like after having done a bunch of those, he wanted to like play other Zelda games as well that like he, you know, just hadn't. And that was one of the ones that he did was he did every Tingle game because they are all in English because they were released in Europe. They just weren't released in the US.
Right.
So he just, you know, downloaded the European versions and played those. And they are weird. Like, and honestly kind of dark at times and like surprisingly not bad. Like it's strange to say the least, but
Like, what's the core mechanic? Are you just like collecting rupees or something?
I forget how the game functions. I think I don't remember if it's a top-down game, but I think at least one of them is. Like kind of Zelda-esque, but like similar to how like the Wario Land games are like a weird corruption of like Mario. The Tingle game almost feels like a weird corruption of Zelda, like at least from what I'm remembering of what I saw. But like I mostly saw stills, like I didn't see like actual gameplay from the admin. He would just like post screenshots every once in a while of like stuff he enjoyed. But like it is like the main mechanic is collecting rupees, but I don't think you usually go and walk around and like pick them up. Like I think you do different things, and like as you progress through the plot, you get access to more rupees, and you get them. And then at least in one of the games, you give those rupees to like an old man rupee, and like in that game, it turns out that old man rupee is like the final stage of a tingle, and like tingles are just greedy people cursed with becoming a tingle. and like they become so consumed by money that they just start to turn into it or something. It's
What a weird message.
yeah, it's weird, but like
Is it just like don't become greedy?
yeah, it's like don't be so greedy that like money becomes your life, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Like it's not a bad message necessarily, but it is a weird game to have that message be in, you know?
Also, like, I don't really feel like that's a great message for kids, because, like, I don't think kids are that greedy about money.
Well, I don't even think they're really kids games. Like they're more aimed at like early teens to like young adults. Cuz like there's like a girl tingle in it. Um and like she's in a pretty scantily clad outfit. And like the games have like a weird aesthetic and stuff that's like not really like something like a kid would be like, oh yeah, I like that. So like I feel like they're at least like older kids that they're aimed at, if anything.
Right. Yeah, those games sound weird.
I do want to like try them out.
How far are you into the game so far? With
I am on the last of the main 3 worlds that like you get a unique team for, and then after this one's done, I basically go through a chunk of the game sort of collecting my team again.
Right.
And then that's basically like that whole process is basically World 4, and then there's like a sort of like a World 5 that's kind of scattered across like several different areas that like kind of hint at different things in the post game, but then ends in the final boss like dungeon. So I'm basically at like World 3 of 5, I would say, as far as like the plot goes. So I'm like making some decent progress. I would say
so you're like
I would say World 4 is a little faster than some, but I think World 2 is the fastest, and that's the one that I just did. So I'm not too sure. Well, I guess World 1 went by pretty quick in this.
So you're not quite halfway through.
I'm like halfway-ish.
Okay.
But yeah, like not... It's hard to say if I'm like actually at halfway or if I'm like a little ways from halfway. But like most of the stuff in the last world is pretty short. I would say the longest part of that's honestly going through that final dungeon kind of a thing. Because that one... There's a lot of like tougher enemies that require more micromanaging, and so just as a result it takes more time to navigate it because like each fight just takes longer. Yeah, Rapidash knows blue flare. Didn't you know that?
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Oh my god, hello, welcome to the stream.
Thanks. I just saw you two talking. I didn't know there was a live stream going on.
There be
We're Jordan is playing Miitopia.
Yeah, I can tell.
And
I'm in World 3.
Neat.
Oh, like 5-ish. This is the area with the Twerkies.
Whoa.
The most cursed enemy in the game that I forgot has an enraged mechanic where it just blows a fart at you from its butt mouth.
What the fuck?
Exactly. Here, maybe I'll be able to summon one. No,
Yeah,
I just got more goblins and tomatoes. I forget which area. Because the enemy spawns are static. I could literally go back to like a path with Twerkies and find them.
I'll tell you, you could look it up on Google. You should do that.
Me?
Yeah, I just look up Twerkies.
Yeah,
I don't feel like it.
that's fair.
Well, if we find a level, you know.
Yeah, I'll be like, yo, this is a Twerkie.
Having a good day, Taylor.
It's okay.
Uh,
I gave
how much
Prawn
longer you
the
got
balloon.
your stream, Jordan?
What was
Sorry,
that?
How much longer are you doing your stream, Jordan?
Longest amount of time would be like an hour, but it's probably gonna be a little less than that.
Okay.
I'm not 100% certain, but
Yeah.
definitely not gonna be a full hour.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask you.
Yeah. Just gotta shove some ham into Amogus. No one else
Is it
wants
Among
ham.
Us or Among Us?
It is Among Us, but I call it Amogus.
Ah.
Because they made it.
It's
they-
because of the meme.
They made it all one
Oh,
word
yeah.
in this character. Like they just wrote Among Us, like no space. So my brain defaults to seeing it as Amogus, anyways.
Yeah, I like the scribble flower.
I like the
Oh.
scribble flower a lot. It's a fun one.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yes.
So one of my primary goals for Animal Crossing is to get 10 of each kind and color of flower.
Oh, that's
like,
so difficult.
I'm pretty close.
What about gold?
I bought a few of the rarer ones because, like, you know, like I bought anything that there was like 6% chance or lower on getting.
Oh, so you didn't do the blue flower? You didn't get the blue rose legit?
Okay, listen, that is the rarest, and there's like, okay, so the way that it works is you can only get blue roses from certain red ones that you've bred, and there's only
Yeah,
a 50-50.
I've seen the charts.
Have you? You're not into Animal Crossing, so I highly
Yeah,
doubt
but
that.
my sibling was really into Animal Crossing, and they got the.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Basically, there's a 0.8% chance of getting it.
What are the
I'm
odds
aware.
of getting a gold one when you get to like...
I also judge you for choosing to not do this.
You do judge me?
I do judge you. Yes.
What did it cost to buy the blue ones? Did it...
As unfairly
Was
as
it a bunch
is,
of
yeah.
tickets?
I didn't come onto this stream for judgment.
All right, then I don't judge you, but I am disappointed. No, that's still judgment, isn't it?
That is a
Shit.
judgment.
Yeah, that's definitely a judgment. Damn it.
Piranha plant slacking off.
Fine. I won't hold it against you. I won't hold it against you.
Anyways, so like in order to like get certain amounts of flowers, I like water specific combinations and things like that. And so that often results in me trying to outrun the rain.
Oh. Because you don't want the rain to water them, because then it screws up their
No,
pollination
no.
efforts.
I was frantically looking around for my villagers, being like, "Where are you? I need to give you a gift before the rain hits." I was like, "Marina, where are you?"
Oh my god.
She likes to hide.
Where does your like village, like where do your villagers tend to hide? I feel like half the time I can't find them. They're just in the museum.
Behind the clothing store.
Oh, that's interesting. I usually just have them just like in the
Fish
museum.
back there, or sing back there, or sit back there.
You should just like set up like a chair there for them to sit in.
You like put up a bunch of like junk back there so they can't get back there.
That's also true. You make a fence.
I mean, the thing is, I haven't gotten KK to my island yet because I've been specifically avoiding it until the two undesirables leave.
You don't want them to be able to enjoy his concert.
No.
How is progress on getting them to leave gone?
I've reached the point where only 2 of the 3 remain now. I found a really, really cute normal villager, and like at first I didn't want to take her on because I was like, I have too many normal villagers, but she was too cute to pass up.
That's valid.
Have you seen Tia?
I don't think I have.
She's an elephant who's designed to look like a teapot.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, I can't leave you. So I was
Yeah,
like,
you
hey,
cannot.
You wanna replace Pom-Pom?
Food
She's like,
villagers
"Yes, I would,
are
teacup."
best. Food villagers are 100% the best villagers. Like the food ones and like the ones that are like abnormal in some other way, like the robot frog.
Like Orange Cat? Like
Yeah,
Cat?
Orange Cat's pretty good. There's like the octopus who's literally like takoyaki.
Oh yeah. I think
Um,
Rhiannon has that villager.
That's a good one.
I don't know. He's not my thing. That's okay though.
I just like the concept. I think it's kind of dark in an amusing way. It's like
Oh, that's
far-fetched.
fine.
It's kind of
Takoyaki
weird
contains
how hard it is to,
octopus.
like, get the villagers that you want, but also I feel like it would be super hella problematic to like have a feature you can just like kick out villagers you don't like just because they don't look right.
Yeah,
But
sets a
also,
bad precedent
you
for
have,
children.
Like, this situation where like Taylor is literally bullying someone into leaving.
I'm not bullying them. I'm just ignoring them completely.
Put up a sign that said "Please leave."
I don't lock them into their own yards anymore.
Okay, but you had to say any more.
And like, if that was something you did in real life, you would go to jail.
Yeah.
Would you go to jail for
Also,
building a
I
fence
also
around
don't
someone's
wear
yard?
I also do not wear magical girl outfits in real life, but in Animal Crossing, I'm just
I
like,
know it's just a game. I'm like, I'm not gonna judge someone for how they play a game, despite
people
doing
kill
exactly
little
that
things
seconds
like
ago.
all the time.
Yo,
Man,
I'm in the orange cave.
No, Jordan, that's lava. You can't tell me that's not lava.
Look at the actual oranges.
Those are lava.
It's called Citrus Cave. There's bubbles. It's Fanta. I'm in the Fanta cave.
Why not both?
Oh my god. Yeah, it's orange lava. It's orange flavored lava.
Yeah. It's lava that burns you alive while also tasting like orange Fanta.
It sounds like
Yeah.
the
It's
oils in
orange
the skin of an
Fanta that's been
orange.
heated up to like 20,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, do you guys remember when I bit into an orange, like skin
No.
on?
No.
Okay,
What?
well I did that once.
What do you mean? Is this something you're supposed to have remembered?
Well, I don't know. That might have actually been. I feel like that was late fall semester, Coco round 1. But it
Really?
could have been
None of
early
think
spring
any-
semester. I
Either
don't
of us were
remember.
in that.
But-
Because your first year at College Court, it was you.
Well, it was not that one. I mean, like when we had like our College Court squad round 1. Like this was round 2 of College Court for me, but like specifically in those rooms, you know, we had the
Right,
same
sure.
ones.
What year was that? It would have been 2017? 2018?
It was 2019,
Well, it was like
2020.
2018.
No, it was 2019, yeah.
Yeah, 2019, 2020.
Yeah, it would have been
Um,
2019, yeah.
It would have been
It was 2019
either.
Coco.
I think it was that
Just a
December.
full-ass orange. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't remember that. I don't remember.
I think the photo from it that Abi took is actually in like the memes thing to come up on the
You gotta get that meme folder up
TV.
and running. I've been slacking off this week. I haven't been to the library at all. I haven't been working on anything. But I do have a job interview, so that's good.
That is good. That is good.
Yeah. So I'm not completely slacking off, I guess.
But yeah, with the when I bit
Alright,
into the
next.
orange, I expected it to just taste like extra bitter and like maybe extra orange, like orangey from like all the oil and stuff that's in it on that right outside the skin. It was both a little more orangey and a little more bitter, but then my entire face started to burn because the oil and like the fluids on the skin are like caustic. It wasn't like that bad, but like it was not the most pleasant experience. I was like, I didn't know that it would do this to the outside of my face.
And just imagine that, but the orange was 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and now you have the citrus cape.
That sounds... No. I hate that. That sounds ouch.
It is
Oh,
ouch.
look, Bowser. Get out of here, Bowser.
Like Bowser's the kind of person who's old. Like, the skin and all.
I think he actually does that in Mario Party.
Of fucking course he does.
Because there's like the one Mario Party, I think, is it Mario Party 4 that has that mechanic? Where there's like the spin the wheel thing for how he's going to like torture you, and like one of the ones is a mini game.
Mario Party games that are like that, yeah.
Yeah, and it has a Koopa Kid though specifically, which is why I think it's 4, because I think it's the first one on the GameCube before Bowser
Bro,
Jr.
you think
was
I
a
know anything
character.
about Mario Party?
But basically, one of the game modes is you have to give Bowser the fruit that he wants. And he like thinks through the fruit, and like I think it gets like faster and faster, and you have to like each person gives him one fruit, and it gets harder to remember just because they were there for less time. And one of the fruits is an orange, and he does just take the orange and go, ah, and just like eat it whole. And then if he doesn't like the fruit you
And,
gave
like-
him, he kills you.
Like, and that, like that's kind of mean, but it's not as evil as Ganon, or
I don't know. I feel like Ganondorf never turned anyone into a bunch of blocks. He just killed people, and I guess kind of through his magic turned the Twilight into weird tentacle dreadlock monsters.
yeah, I feel like that's worse. Also, I don't believe that Bowser turned all the jokes into blocks. I feel like that's just propaganda. Like, I think Nintendo at one point may have said that, you know, as like, oh, we need a reason for people to like play the game.
But then they wrote it out of the canon.
Right, and then later on it was just like, yeah, that was kind of dumb. Let's not do that. That's stupid. It just blocks Mario breaks.
Also, I'm
Stalled.
seeing the reflective floor here reminded me, someone on the team for like Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl is really into reflections. I don't know who it is, but someone on the team is really into reflections, because a lot of the battlegrounds have a reflective floor. And when you're looking at your Pokemon just in the Pokemon menu, there is a reflection of them underneath. And I think, and this is the dev team that in Pokemon Home, they added like metallic reflective textures to all of the Pokemon, or not all of, but most of the Pokemon that are metallic. So I feel like there's someone on the team who's like really into having things have like a little bit of reflectivity. And who is like, we need the floor.
Gotta make it look good. Gotta make it look good.
I mean, honestly, they are pretty solid reflections. I can't lie. Like, they don't look bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're solid.
Like, if you know how to make nice reflections in a game and make them look good, wouldn't you do it a bunch if you could?
Also, that's another thing. Pokemon Legends Arceus has, in the water, it has, like, probably, like, screen space reflections, but it has reflections of, like, stuff.
You know
In the
what other Pokemon
distance
game
there.
had reflective water? Literally, Pokemon Fire Red Leaf Green.
Yeah, but that's done differently. You know, it's an easier way to render
It's
it.
done differently, right? Yeah.
It's literally, they just have a version of your sprite that's wibbly wobbly that's present at all times, and then that water layer is just below that layer. So
Yeah,
like if
and
you're
guess what,
walking in
Jordan?
the
It looks
void, you
sick.
have
It
reflections.
looks sick as fuck. It looks so good. They have little clouds and stuff too.
The
And
clouds
water.
are good.
It's awesome.
I don't think the clouds were Fire Red Leaf Green. I think the clouds were
Yeah,
Ruby
I think
Sapphire
that was
Emerald.
Ruby Sapphire.
But
it's the same idea. Same
yeah,
idea.
no, those clouds were good. Those clouds were good.
Yeah, and guess what? It
We
looked
stand those
good.
clouds.
It looked good. I don't care how they did it. It looks good. I don't give a fuck if like we have like the fanciest, smanchiest like graphics or whatever, or like the most complicated, like state of the art thing to draw something. Like if it doesn't look good, I don't care.
It'll be ridiculous. What if Legends Arceus had ray tracing, but like so that it could run on a Switch, it just used 5 light rays. So it just looked like shit. It's the worst ray tracing.
Yeah,
I think that would be. I feel like I don't know why that just sounds funny to me. Just a Switch game having the worst ray tracing possible.
I don't know, man. I've seen some bad ports to Switch. Have you seen the port for Worlds?
Yes, yeah. I saw a Digital Foundry look at that because they were like, "Is this the worst Switch port?" And I'm like, "Okay, well now I've got to see this." And I'm just looking at it and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is a train wreck."
It's not even playable. Like it's literally so bad. It's just like because like I've played I have gone on the record multiple times. Like I don't care how bad a game is. Like that game was so bad I couldn't even see like what I was doing. It was just like a blur. Like the enemies literally were just a blur of pixels. Like I couldn't even tell what it looked like. Like the graphics are so bad it like actually impacts gameplay, but it's like that's a problem.
Yeah. It's like graphics aren't an issue until they are an issue. Like,
right.
I don't think
I don't play video games for the graphics. If I wanted good graphics, I'd watch an anime. Like,
yeah.
but like if the graphics are so bad that like I can't even play the game, then it's like shit.
Like,
yeah, I don't get people who bitch about Sword and Shield for not having good graphics. Like,
I think they're
have
fine.
good graphics.
Like, I think for the most part the game looks fine. Like,
Yeah, it looks great.
Good.
I think that the biggest reason it kind of struggles visually in certain areas.
It just has a less than optimal processing engine.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. A lot of the complaints I've seen, one of the ones
But they're
was,
not even talking about graphics at that point. They're talking about the processing engine.
well, if it's
Like how
shaders,
people
it does
talk-
fall
it's
under
like how people
graphics.
talk about animation, but they actually mean character design.
Well, if it's specifically the shaders that are the problem, like then it does fall under the graphics because like that's
I feel like
a layer of the
is
graphics
a much
processing.
more, like wider term, like overarching term than like animation, right?
That's
Because like
fair.
animation is specifically like animation as opposed to like art style. Like those are two very different things, and you're talking about two very different.
That's fair, I
You're
guess.
meaning very specific things. Like graphics could mean anything from like the sprite to like the 3D model to the animations of the 3D model to the shading. It's a very large overarching. It could
Okay.
be like you'd be talking about the user interface. You could be talking about the like even like how bright the image is could be part of the graphic. Because people will like compare the graphics of like the Game Boy Color to the like Game Boy Advance and be like the backlighting on it. Like literally all they did like people will say like, oh, it's more enjoyable to play Game Boy games on a Game Boy Advance because the Game Boy Advance has like a Game Boy SP.
Yeah,
Because it
specifically
has
SP.
backlight. Yeah, the Game Boy SP has like a backlight to it, which means it has better graphics, even though literally it's the same exact thing. They just put a light bulb behind the screen.
I think my favorite backlight thing was that
It's kinda
they
like-
had a
like the
backlight in the
OLED
original Game Boy
It's like
ones.
the OLED Switch, right? It's like the OLED Switch doesn't have better graphics, but at the same time, it kind of like you could argue it does because the OLED is a better screen, even though it's the same resolution. It's just a bit bigger and a bit brighter and easier to see on daylight. So like, is it better graphics? No, but is it look better? Is it a better end user experience? Yes. So like, I guess it kind of counts. I don't know. It's weird. It's a gray area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
There's,
I
there's
think.
a lot more gray area. I think.
Yeah,
Graphics they actually mean as much. I don't know, maybe more specific. Really, I don't know. You know what? Let me look this up right now. I'm just gonna Google what is like the Wikipedia article for what define definition of.
I mean, I feel like it's gonna be just the visual parts of the game. Because, like, that's...
The
that is
products
the
of
core.
graphic arts, especially commercial design or illustration. Well, I guess that's what it means in, like... I guess,
Yeah,
specifically
like
computer graphics? I don't know. When people... when people talk... Because, like, graphics... Cause like it's literally just like a drawing, right? It's just like a synonym of art. It's like, it can mean a lot. It's hard. What does graphic mean? Like anything visual, I guess?
Well, hi there.
It's a very broad term. Yeah.
I keep pulling the rock
Meaning
lever.
to be written, drawn, printed, or engraved. A map is a graphic representation of an area's geography. Like, there's different meanings for the word graphic. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just comes down to, like, the arts. I don't know if the graphics would count animation.
Right, it's something like visual. Well, no, I feel like animation does count.
At least not with 3D models, because the animation is handled differently.
Well, no, because people get upset when, like, oh, the graphics are bad because the frame rate is low.
But
like,
the
that
frame
has to
rate
be
isn't... The frame rate is, I guess, kind of on the animation end, but, like, animations in video games, at least 3D modeled ones, don't have a set frame rate. It's just... It's like a vectored image, you know? If you display it on any screen, it's going to automatically be rasterized by that screen. But at its fundamental level, it at no point has pixels. And then it's the same thing with, like...
There's no, like, discrete, like, frames of animations.
Not with most 3D animations. At least not when it comes to you're moving a rig around. Like, if you're moving like, the arm of Mario...
Well, how is
you could
animation
display
stored?
that.
Is it like a sequence of movements? Like,
it's
this arm here?
Basically, it's this, like, take this control point and its degrees on the axis are changing to this point, or, like, it's, like, basically its coordinates are varying in this way.
Right.
So, like, if you have,
I
like,
would
Mario
argue
move
that
his arm, you
might
could
be
display that
true
at
if you are
240
animating
FPS.
it using a rigging system, but not all 3D models and animating systems use that. That might be the case now, that might be the standard, but not always.
I mean, the only times that it wouldn't use a rig would be if you're talking, like, a mouth moving, that's usually separate models.
Yeah, like,
sometimes,
well,
depending on the game.
about, like,
At least in
I
the
don't know, like I know for a fact there are, like, examples of 3D animation where, like, it's more or less just like the same model that's been, like, it's like more akin to, like, stop motion, right? Where it's the same model but it's, like, stored in different, right, as, like, distinct.
Yeah, that can happen. That's usually looked down upon just because it's so much space that it takes up, because you're now saving each of those as separate models rather than saving them as a model and its animations.
You're not storing them as separate models, you're storing them as individual poses. And just the numbers, like, you're just storing them as, like, coordinates for each, like, angle that, like, each part of the model is being used. The model itself is stored separately.
So, like, the animations, are you saying, like, they're, like, instantaneous? Like, it goes from one animation to the next?
Yep, frame by frame.
So that is actually still done with a rig and this traditional style of animation, because they have to be eased in. They're just eased in less than a frame. But if you played the game at, like, 1000 FPS, you might be able to see a couple frames of intermediary animation.
You wouldn't, because they don't store the in-between frames. Like, in the physical ROM or, like, ISO or whatever, how it's being stored, like, it only stores 60 frames of animation. Like, you'd have to, like, if you played the game back at a higher frame rate, it would break. You'd still play the animation at 60 frames per second, because it doesn't store what position the arm would be in between the two. It's not stored anymore.
Well, yes, but when you have a rigged model that you're changing the, like, animation states of...
that people have a rig, like, or animating it that way that you're thinking, like, not...
Well, no, you cannot animate a 3D model without a rig. Otherwise, you're having separate 3D models.
That's true.
So if they have one model that's being animated into separate like different poses that are individually keyframed,
Like,
it still has
when they
an
make
easing
the
frame
game,
between
Sure,
them.
but when the game is finished and saved, like they
It
don't,
doesn't get
like,
optimized any further than that. Like it might display at 60
Yeah.
FPS, but when in most game engines, pretty much all of them, it is impossible to move an object or a coordinate or anything in an instantaneous way other than moving it in under a frame. So when like a character is animating
I'm sorry,
at like
you've completely lost me. Like I feel like I don't understand. Like
so like basically they're moving so fast that it looks like it's changing frames in like just a snap of your fingers. Like if you were to play it back though at like 10,000 frames per
like,
second, you could
let's
see a
think of,
halfway
like, a
point.
very simple example. Let's just say like I have like two like rectangular prisms or whatever, and they're joined with like a joint, right? And I want to rotate that from like one angle to another angle, right?
Yes.
Like I can store that separate from the model as just let's have these two models joined together at a 90-degree angle, and let's have these two models like these two shapes joined together at 180 degrees. Right?
Yeah, the animations
I'm not
are saved
storing
discretely.
the instruction of like move from 90 degrees to 180s. I'm just storing two numbers, 90 and 180.
Yes,
Right.
but then when you put that into an engine, the way it animates it, it basically goes at the tick rate of the engine. It will move it such that in under a frame, it will be at a new angle. Like, but if you were to
What?
play it back,
No, that doesn't.
because
I don't
animations,
see how that's
it's like
any different from literally just setting a number to a new number.
well, it's because the numbers have to change in engine over time. Like it's like if you're teleporting a
No, they
character,
don't.
their model has
they
to
don't.
physically
Like,
move.
why can't I,
from
like,
that
what
position to
is
the
stopping
other?
me from literally just like going to that address that stores the position of this angle and changing it from one number to another?
Because
Like, what is stopping me from doing that?
basically game engines are programmed such that they ease between
You're
animations,
assuming
and
that
animations are
every single
discrete
game engine
files.
is programmed like that, Jordan. Like I'm
Every
talking about-
modern one is. Like if
Yeah,
it's
and that's
programmed
fair.
in Unity,
And that's fair.
Unreal,
Maybe modern day games are all like that. And I
like
accept
Game
that. That's
Studio.
fine. But what I am saying is that older school or other game engines outside of what is standard don't always follow that set of rules.
Hypothetically, they could, but it would be very rare to find that would happen. Like even in Smash, the way they do
I don't even know
Game
what
and
I'm
Watch,
even
Game and Watch just switches between models, because that can be
Yeah.
done on an instant frame. But then, if you were to take like, you know, a character like, I'm trying to think of like an example of a character that does kind of like multiple freeze frame things in some game. Oh, Luigi, when he does that one victory animation where he like teleports between different poses. If you were to run the game at like 3000 FPS, you would be able to see his movement between those. Though some developers will set it so that the model is invisible during that movement. So if you go at a high enough rate, they're like
I feel like
shrunk
that
down
one-
infinitely and then grow back or something like that to make them not visible during that
I
movement
don't
so that you can't even
It's-
catch it normally.
Yeah, but I feel like at that point that's way outside of the developers. Right? Like the game's not supposed to be ran at 3 seconds, right?
It's not, but like, you know, Breath of the Wild is set to run at 30. If you run Breath of the Wild at like 60, you know, things will change. Or if you play, if the game has like time dilation to it,
Right. So I guess like the point, we went on this very, very, very long tangent. The point I think we were trying to get back is like frame rate is independent of animation,
yeah.
right? Because the way, at least in the modern day setup, the way that they are built is so that they can very easily adjust between or how things are, correct?
Yeah, unless you're using
and
like
I
separate
agree.
models or separate like sprites or something like that, you can't have like that distinct one.
And like, well, basically all I'm saying is like there might be some edge fringe cases where that's not necessarily the case. But I guess that's true of pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like
Especially for
the
niche
general
cases.
game you'll find will be set up in
Yeah.
that kind of a way.
But yeah, no, but I still think like people will point out things because like when frame rates look bad, people will point that out. It's like, oh, that's bad graphics. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
Like,
that
I
is
feel like-
part of your visual
I feel like
experience.
really, when people talk about graphics, they just mean like it looks bad,
Yeah,
right?
something
No,
about
like,
how this looks
reasoning
does not
behind
look
it.
good.
It's just a sort of intuitively feeling wise. Oh, this doesn't look right, and so that's what they mean by bad graphic. Right? It's not the it doesn't look the way that I think it should, or it looks. I don't know, wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They're just bad. Like just bad. And like I don't know. I feel like maybe there are better ways to describe that. I don't know. But like I don't know. And I think like it's just like saying like, oh, the graphics are bad is maybe like a first level impression of like a game. But I feel like
Yeah, it's very surface
like-
level.
yeah, a very exactly. It's a surface level.
It's like it is the one of the shallowest critiques of a game you can have is just game look bad unless the way it
Yeah.
looks bad is negative to the experience. Like if you were to like have a game where like you know there are enemies of different colors and if you hit them with like the wrong attack, you know, you get hurt. And so like you have to like play around their colors. But then,
You know,
say the game
like, I
is
literally
set up
can't even
such
tell
that you
which,
can't tell which
like,
color's
what,
which.
What the heck is going on? Because it's just so blurry. It's just a weird blur of like.
Yeah, like too strong motion blur would be super impactful to a gameplay experience, or like
Or just like I can't tell when this thing is gonna attack because like the frame rate is so slow. Or like it's so
Or-
laggy.
if you say you were playing a game
It's so
and the
dark,
camera was
I
set up
literally
with
can't even
like
read the text, or the text is so small I can't read it.
God,
Or
now I'm
these are
imagining
all-
setting up a game where you have the camera, its lens is at such a weird angle that you can't tell how far things are. That would be an easy one to fall into.
It's such a common complaint too in video games. It's like, oh, the camera angle is so weird, right?
Yeah,
That's
Especially
fair.
before-
cameras are
yeah.
so tough to like set up right.
Cameras are so hard to do right. I do not envy people who make 3D games.
It's so
It's
tough.
just complicates so much.
Yeah, like even 2D games, if you're programming in the Unreal Engine, they're technically or not Unreal, in the Unity engine, a 2D game is technically just a 3D game, but with a fixed camera angle that doesn't have depth. And so like that's how the layers work, because if I remember correctly, Shovel Knight is a Unity 2D game. And the way it's if you like, because it's in Unity, you can actually move that camera if you open it in Unity and like see Shovel Knight at angles you're not meant to, and like see that like, oh, this bush is like 3 feet behind him or something, even though it doesn't look like it when you're actually playing the game, because there's no like depth to it other than like, you know, what is physically put into the sprites. Which also means that my comp, all of its sprites would also be like able to have that done to them. You could like pull the camera in a weird way.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess like you can make the argument every 2D game is just a 3D game with a fixed camera angle and everything's flattened out.
Not every engine does that though. Some engines actually are 2D. Like they just don't have a 3D depth to it at all. Like it's literally the 2 dimensions.
How can you tell? How can you tell when you're playing the game?
When you
Like, when
have a 2D game that's 3D, the hitboxes are also 3-dimensional. So like because they
How can you tell if a hitbox is 3-dimensional when you're playing the game?
well, you can't tell when you're playing, but if you were to open it in engine, you could see.
I would argue for the end user experience, mathematically speaking, they're identical.
Not necessarily, because you can run into hiccups that you might not run into otherwise if you do it one way. Like, that's actually... Smash runs into that. Smash on a stage where you're 3D versus Smash on a stage where you're squished into 2D and so are your hitboxes plays fundamentally different because the hitboxes are distorted.
Right, yeah.
And so, like, that issue can show up.
I'm arguing that, like, let's say you have two different games. I'm saying, like, in the general case, right?
Mhm.
Like, theoretically, like, just because your game is running in Unity, and, like, it's technically a 3D game, but 2D-ish, like, there might be some issues as you're developing that you'll need to look out for, or stuff like that. But, like, once your game is finished and your players are playing the game, and, like, you know, barring any weird, right, like, then, like, it doesn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's still, it might as well have been as if you had made it.
I mean, yeah, but, like, at that level, like, I'm not necessarily talking about, like, from the player's experience. I'm talking, like, specifically, at its core, like, how the game's made.
Because, like, as you're developing the game, there are going to be some...
Like, Unity is nice because Unity 2D is set up very well. Like, the hitboxes, if you're using a 2D hitbox, I think the way it basically renders them is that they're, like, the maximum Z-axis thickness, so they will collide with any other layer, no matter how far away it is. As long as that layer also has a hitbox that's 2D. Like, that way you avoid the issue Smash runs into of the Z-axis causing attacks to miss.
Which I think is partially intentional.
I think it's partially intentional as well, but, like, sometimes it just makes certain characters harder to hit with other characters' attacks because it's all 3D.
And a very obvious reason.
Yeah. Like, it looks like it should have hit, but because this character's back it bends this way during, like, their crouch, you know, you can't hit them with this character's, like, down tilt or something. Like, I think Donkey Kong's punch, that's one. His big punch, if you punch from too close, very skinny characters like Joker and Marth will stand in the inside part of his elbow and not even get hit by the sour part, like the sour spot in the hitbox. Like, they'll just be standing, like, right in front of the furthest part out.
Just, like, basically what's happening is Donkey Kong's literally just whiffing in front of him.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny, actually.
It is kind of funny.
Gotcha. My favorite is like in Melee, like Yoshi's grab is like literally it's just glitched out. Like it's literally
Oh yeah, Yoshi's grab is bad.
It's like 2 feet behind everything. So it's just basically impossible to grab anyone with it. It's so ridiculous.
I want the fancy tank.
You're not gonna get it.
I want the fancy tank!
Or have an outing ticket.
I'm gonna get more outing tickets. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to get the fancy tank. Do I have horse tickets? No. Well, then no one goes on an outing.
You have horse tickets? What?
There's ones that are specifically to go out on an outing with the horse. And, like, that's the only relationship that I, like, need to
those
gain.
are, like, different from the normal tickets?
Yeah, they're called horsing around.
That's dumb. That's
and you go out with the horse and you do a thing.
Which I guess is fair. I'm all for prejudice against horses, but, like, not in this game.
See, it's not lava.
Wait, they're drinking the juice?
Yeah, it's not lava.
Oh my god.
It's zesty.
Shit, I guess my theory's false.
Though, if you drink it, sometimes it turns you into a snail.
I could see, like, the horse drinking it, because it's Rapidash. The Piranha Plant would have definitely lit on fire. So there's no way that stops.
Nah, flowers in this game are immune to that.
Immune to fire?
Yeah.
All right. Well then, yeah, maybe it's hot. Maybe it's lava.
No, I'm kidding. They're not immune to fire. No one is. Everyone burns.
Jordan, you're supposed to yes and, but you can't just change the rules.
Too late.
Son of a bitch.
I make the rules now. Yes, gold. This is such a weird world in this game, because, like, the others you get your third character, like, so fast. This one, you literally get them after, like, half the world. It's so weird. I don't know why they decided to do that.
So Jordan, how many more times are you gonna play this game all the way through?
Wait,
Probably
has
no
he
more times
finished
all the way
it?
through. I technically haven't beaten it
He's
fully.
beaten
In...
this game several times now.
What
No,
the fuck?
I've beaten the main story several times. I haven't beaten the post game in my personal playthrough on the Switch version yet, just
Oh, sorry,
because
excuse me, he
other
hasn't
games
beaten
have
the
come out,
first game yet, but he has gone through the entire game, the entire story.
and like a chunk of the
Several
post game.
times.
I haven't done the
That's-
like boss rush tower in the post game yet. In my
Yeah.
personal
Okay.
save of this.
Can I tell you guys something really funny?
Oh, of course.
So I occasionally watch Wayne Radio TV Solutions, which is the people behind Half-Life VR
Yeah.
AI software.
Yeah.
And they were playing Among Us like a few months ago, and one of their friends, Morshu, chose to he chose to only be able to talk through the dialogue of like the shopkeep guy from Link in the Faces of Evil.
Yeah, that is Morshu. They only used Morshu dialogue as Morshu,
I know.
which is ideal.
Great,
Oh
though.
hey, I'm about to fight
Wait.
Tingle.
Oh, wait, when they're playing Among Us, like hearing him try to say things is so funny.
Wait, I'm so confused. Wait, what do you mean by like only through the dial? Like
Like
you would
he
just
takes sounds. Like if he's trying to say bulb, he'll say bombs.
Oh no.
And
So it's
if he was hanging out with like Wayne for a while and they were doing the same tasks together, you'll hear Wayne, you're my friend.
He like
my God.
AI, like they built to like. I feel like that's got to be in existence, right? I've seen enough of that meme with like the guy selling bombs from Zelda, saying weird shit that like someone at some point must have like, because there's definitely like AI scripts where you can like take, I don't know, like a person's voice or something, like Barack Obama's voice or whatever.
It's
and
super hard to
automatically-
use those though. Those are
like,
they
it'll
take so
automatically
much
find
data.
clips and like edit it together, right?
They take so much data to do
Yeah.
that with.
Oh,
It is
but I feel
literally impossible to get one that sounds good unless you do thousands and thousands and thousands of unique words and unique takes.
Yeah, it was sometimes hard to figure out what he was trying to say, but it was
Because I
like,
also feel like the data set for like this one specific character from like one or two fucking games is probably pretty small compared to, I don't know, Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, check out Arachno Tingle.
ew.
You gotta
Oh,
get Tingle's face back from Arachno Tingle.
Ew. No, don't leave it.
It's like the Spidey sense, you know? It's the,
Leave
the,
it there.
the Peter Tingle. But this is Arachno Tingle.
No.
Durin, what do you think is going to be the future
The future of what?
meme technology? Like
I
meme
definitely think
generation?
AI is going to be the future of memes. No, I didn't get
Like,
the
you
chance
mean
to
like
put...
artificially generated memes, or like people like using AI to help
Using
people?
AI to assist in the creation of a meme. Not necessarily that an AI is coming up with the meme, but like one example that comes to mind pretty quickly for me is someone's making an AI that basically does mocap and background removal and replacement. Like basically everything you need to do to have a good CG character, and they're just like making an AI that does that. for you in real time. Like literally they're using it in Snapchat right now. Like someone's developing one using Snapchat's AR tools that literally, I think right now it replaces you with one of the Boston Dynamics robots. And it's not perfect. Like you can tell that it's like it's erasing a human body, but they showed the example of someone from The Office doing parkour. Being replaced by it, and it was surprising for real-time mocap with a fixed camera. You know, like they're not using a mocap system, it's just like a dude from, you know, a piece of footage being written out and replaced. And so like
So in
I think
theory,
that
you could,
type
like,
of tech, you know, not necessarily that one
so, like,
exclusively, but
if
like
that gets like better in the future, you could like, oh, here's like a funny meme, and you like animate this person in this meme, like I don't know, doing a dab.
yeah, like literally you could just take any model that is rigged, you know, and apply it to any clip of footage, you know, that kind of level of stuff.
Then as that becomes easier for people to use, like oh, some specialty being
Exactly.
Right.
All right, I killed Arachnotangle. Oh, they hit his eyes under his eyebrows. Clever.
What?
Weird, but clever.
No.
Something that only makes sense in Miitopia.
That's where his eyes were.
His eyebrow. Yeah. It's kind of weird that a lot of this game, of like animating characters in this game, is just like, where do I hide the eyeballs?
Where do
Like,
I
you should
put
just
the
be able to have,
schnoz?
like-
I wonder where his nose is. That's
I feel
the
like you
tricky
should be able
one.
to make a me that just doesn't have a
Oh,
face.
I know where his nose is. It's right at the top of his lips. Heavens. Tingle has 4 ears.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Whack.
Is your bird making a lot of noise?
Mine?
Yeah, well, there's a bird, yeah, in the background. I can hear
Yeah,
it.
he's just talking to himself.
That's fair. Goodbye, Roadhog. Hello, Tingle.
You can't really hang out with him right now.
You guys not talking?
No,
Onto
a
a
little more
webcast.
complex. It's a little more complex than that. I won't go into detail about it on stream, but yeah.
Fair enough.
Wait, is Tingle on your team now?
Yeah, well, kind of.
Kinda.
Tingle's a temporary member of the
Oh, hey,
team.
it's the Happy Mask Salesman.
Why does he never have good photos? He just
always got-
offers you every boss fight. He's like, "Hey, you want this shitty photo I took?" It's like a random moment.
You should buy him. He
he's
looks
good.
so sad.
I'm not wasting my gold
was
on his
a good
garbage. That one
character.
wasn't bad, but the
I
others
kinda
I've
wish I
seen bad.
played more of it. Final Fantasy 15, honestly.
Oh, the
road trip
photo
one-
dude.
The photo guy. I actually fucking love that game, even though it was really stupid and just like people just driving along in a car the entire time.
Yeah,
A
that was,
thank
that was
you
the road-
vase?
road adventure game.
What is a
Yeah,
thank you
it's
vase?
fun. Oh, I'm kind of happy.
It's a vase that says thank you.
Yeah.
Not that hard.
Oh yeah, I actually like thank you. I don't think I can play it anymore because I think it's no longer available on PlayStation now. And I don't want to pay money for it.
That's fair. You don't want to pay money for your road trip?
Yeah, I had enough for a trip. I played through a bit of Red Dead Redemption. I played it for like a good couple hours, and then I don't know, I kind of got bored with it.
Yeah, it always struck me as like
Like,
less
it's
stuff
cool.
to do GTA, but
Yeah,
like
it's-
in a
it's
historical
cool.
setting. So like
Yeah,
it's
very
cool
much,
in that
yeah,
way,
like
but
Grand Theft Equestrian, very much so. But like, I don't know. It's fun. It's an immersive game, but it also, I don't know. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of got. It kind of just felt like I'm just running from like corner to corner of the map to like progress the story.
That's kind of how I felt with Skyrim. I'm not gonna lie. That was how Skyrim
Yeah.
felt for me. It was just like, hey, go here and do
That's
stuff.
the
And I was like,
issue-
oh, okay.
That's the issue with like a lot of like open world games is like they kind of like eventually turn it into run to this point in the map, do this thing, run to this point in the map, do this thing. It's
And like,
after
if you have
you're
fast
literally just
travel,
walking across the map.
it's so fast. Like, if you have fast travel, it's like every single thing takes like 10 minutes. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, and then like yeah, it's just like it's weird.
After I finish this path,
I don't know.
I'm gonna
It's like
wrap
it's
it up the stream.
fun. Like it's fun. I like.
Mm-hmm.
I like open world games. I get really into them. But after playing like 10 or 12 different open world games in a row that all kind of feel the same, it's just like, okay, I think I had enough.
Yeah,
Like,
that
that's
was
what
like,
what it was like with like Ghost of Tsushima. It was like, it was good, but also I've played this exact game like 5 times already.
yeah, I think we're definitely hitting a point of like open world fatigue. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
because like, it was this really cool thing to like make the biggest world you can, you know?
And now we're
Like-
kind of at the point where it's like, yeah, people don't really care about it.
Well, it's like, it doesn't even need to be big to be, like, because it was, the mindset was like big meant good, but then like people realized, oh, well, big also means empty if you don't put enough stuff, and they're like, well, it's hard to put enough stuff in big. And so then they
That's
realized,
why
like, oh, make
Animal
it smaller.
Crossing.
You wanted
But I
to
feel
make
like
it
it's like-
big, and then now that you have nothing there to make it look like a
Yeah.
house. That's
I
fair.
have plans for it, but I want to plan the outside first. You know?
But I also feel like, I don't know, I feel like too, like, a lot of games, like, will have stuff in them, but, like, they'll just be, I don't know, like, the stuff that's in them isn't unique.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Ghost of Tsushima has, like, this is, like, one of the things that, like, literally, like, made me, like, kind of upset, was, like, playing through Ghost, like, not upset, but, like, kind of, like, threw me. It was, like, I was playing through Ghost of Tsushima, and, like, it has a lot of stuff in it, and it's a beautiful game. But, like, there's this one part, it's like, oh, cool, there's, like, this bird, let me follow this bird. And then, like, I followed it, and I found this, like, cool little spot, and then I sat down, and it was like, okay, now write a haiku. And I'm like, what? Like, yeah. And, like, normally I'd be really hyped for something like that, because that's a
Write a
cool
fucking
idea. Right? And it was like, oh, here's, like, a list of options or whatever. And, like, it's a cool idea, but it's just, like, so fucking out of place. Because it's, like, it's just, like, oh...
Oh, I do hear.
I was like, who
That'd be
the fuck
fucking
was that? I realized it was Glenn.
Yes. Yes, she has arrived.
It's just really out of place. It's just like I'm
I
playing
think
this
they-
game. It's like a war-torn country, and I'm trying to like quickly as quickly as I can gather up some samurai to like save my dad or whatever.
You don't want to stop and write a
I would just
haiku?
sit down and stop and write a fucking haiku so I can get a
Right,
headband, I
Alex
guess.
is going on Mount Fuji.
Right? And it's no, I had to write it. No, it was specific. It was like you have to write a haiku that reflects on strife. And I was like, oh shit, okay.
It is snowing on Mount Fuji, right? That's it. That's all you need.
There's like a list of options you get to pick. And
Are you saying that
I
Mount
would've
Fuji's
definitely
snow
written about
is
Mount
not
that'd be cool.
about strife?
But you can't even see Mount Fuji from there because you're on Tsushima Island. Which
Then
is,
it could be full of strife. You don't know because you can't see it.
Yeah, get good. Get elf eyes.
anyways.
I
Get
need
elf eyes that can see around the curvature of Earth.
I need a warrior.
The curvature of Earth. I'm sorry.
Who is
I
my
don't know
warrior?
what that would be.
But there's that Dr. Seuss story where there's like a bunny and a bear and a worm, and like the rabbit was like, I can hear really far. He's like, see that mountain way the fuck over there? I can hear a flea on top of that mountain. And I heard it cough, just very quietly. And the bear's like, oh shit. Okay, well, I can smell really far. You see, like, the mountain behind the mountain behind the mountain? There's like, what was it? It was like some,
What kind of supernatural
Like-
bear is this?
or something, and I was like, it didn't brush its teeth the other day. It has bad breath. That's how good my smelling is. And then the rabbit's like, oh shit, that's cool. And then there's a worm who's like,
He's like pulling himself
wait,
forward.
I got this. And he like stares really, really far. And he's just sitting there, he's staring like as far as he can. And he's like, alright, I saw all the way around the world, and I see these two idiots arguing about nothing. And then he like runs, like hides
Number
himself.
2.
Nice.
That wasn't a Dr. Seuss book?
That was a Dr. Seuss story, I believe. Yeah, that was a story that like my parents read me as a kid.
Yeah, he had a lot of
exactly
stories that
It's
were.
a lot.
Yeah. It's not exactly like that's not exactly how the story goes, but like yeah, like
That explains a lot, Keith. About your
how?
personality.
I'm curious how that explains anything.
Who is
Like,
my
genuine-
warrior?
Like how does that like what about my behavior is explained by this warm character?
I feel like
Just, you're very snarky.
Snarky?
it is a pretty snarky tale.
I will probably say my snarkiness has more to do with my sibling than me.
I don't know, it seems to be a family trait
And-
if they were reading that book to you.
For sure. Yeah. And also, it's like, I would say probably this snarkiness in particular comes from
Yeah.
my mom's family more than my dad. My dad is not a very snarky person. He's often very baffled by like me and my siblings' behavior, but he's also an only child. So like, I think that says more about him than it does about me.
Yeah. Who is my warrior? I actually have surprisingly few characters left to have go to war.
Anyways, when I read that story as a kid, I was like, that's bullshit. The worm can't see around the earth. It's curved. And it wasn't until I was older, it's like, oh,
That's
he was
the
just being
point.
a bitch. He was just giving them shit, because he's like, these guys are idiots. And like, I got it. I understood the story.
I could finally graduate.
I can finally graduate grade school, and now I can go to middle school.
Aren't they both grade school?
Where I grew up is basically first grade through fifth grade, and then middle school was sixth grade through eighth grade.
Yeah, that's what I had too.
Some places combine them. That's not that uncommon.
I also know some places will do like 2 years of, or like they'll like split what my middle school would have been into like it would be like 2 years, and then there's like a junior high school after middle school, and then there's a senior high school, and they're like
What?
2 basically, like
That's-
6, 7,
That's
8,
so
9.
needlessly complicated.
Well, no,
That's quite complex.
yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the last one is like 10 through 12. So it's like 3 years. So it's like 2
Like
to
for
3.
me, it was like you had. I went to Westmore and then Jefferson Middle School and Willowbrook High School. Right. Technically, I went to Schaefer School first grade, second grade, third grade, but then I went. It was like that was because I like basically how it was in my school district was like you had like grade school, middle school, three different schools.
My district didn't have cool names for most of the schools. Like it had like each of the schools. The 3 elementary schools were the only ones that weren't just school district name type of school. Like it was very cookie cutter, but it was like
District 45.
well, because it was like Fort LaBeouf School District had Fort LaBeouf Middle School, Fort LaBeouf High School, but then they had 3 elementary schools, so they couldn't just have Fort LaBeouf Elementary School. So they had Waterford Elementary, which is the town that the school district centered in. Robinson Elementary, which is named after the road that it's on, which is Robinson Road, and then there's Mill Village Elementary, which is in a tiny little town called Mill Village. And that
And
was
also-
basically the way they did it. And I was like, it's always weird to me when like people have like actual like interesting names to their high schools, because I'm like, my school district just like named things after where they were, and then the school district.
We had one primary, one elementary, one middle, one high school. If you lived in that area, that's where you went.
So you had 4 schools in your district.
Mhm.
See, we had 3 that we went through. How did they split
Well,
yours
I
up?
think
Well,
we
so
also
my
had
primary
like
and
primary
elementary
school
the building
too,
is the same
but
building. It's just like cut in half.
Okay.
I went to like a kindergarten school, like preschool, and then went to. But like, I also don't really count that as school because it's, I guess, by the
Yeah,
name.
usually people started at K-12, or started
Preschool?
at K and ended at 12.
Yeah,
Like my district also had preschools.
yeah.
It was like a
Preschools are very
specific
common.
section
But, like,
of
also they're
the.
called,
I went to
why are they
elementary
called
schools.
But only
preschool?
one.
It's just school.
It's like to get kids used to the rhythm of going somewhere every day.
I guess.
That's
yeah.
like
They're not
in
really
a school
learning
like setting,
much.
but yeah, like at most they learn like letters. I think when I was, because I don't think we started learning anything like math wise until kindergarten, because that's when I remember learning like 1 + 1 = 2.
I went
in
to
school.
preschool.
Yeah, like kindergarten's
But only
when I
one.
learned like how to count. I remember distinctly the memory of being in kindergarten and like having a giant like roll of paper and like we'd be writing out numbers and I was like, I'm gonna count to the highest number. And then like I reached the end and I was like, all right, I did it. I counted all the numbers. And then the teacher was like, oh, well, if you want to keep going, I can just tap on some more, like staple on an extra little piece of paper to it.
I was gender non-conforming.
And I was
even
like,
in
wait,
preschool.
there's more than 4-digit numbers? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, oh, fuck. And that's when I realized it goes on forever.
I was gender non-conforming even in preschool.
How so?
I
Was it
believe
just
that.
like the ways you played, or?
For Halloween when I was 4, I was Buzz Lightyear.
No, that's valid. That's
And
valid. Buzz Lightyear's cool.
there was another kid who also dressed up as Buzz Lightyear, and like at the time he was like really mad I was Buzz Lightyear for some reason, and I didn't know why. And I only found out years later, like his mom and my mom had a fight because like Buzz Lightyear's a boy, like Taylor can't be Buzz Lightyear, and my mom's just like, she's 4.
Like, yeah, I don't care, like, why, like, I don't get why people need like a reason to let their kid dress up as like a certain Halloween costume, unless the costume is gonna be like real bad.
Racist?
Like, don't dress up as like a racist thing, child.
Yeah,
Like-
One of my old friends, when I was
please
looking for
don't.
like old photos of like that like preschool stuff, I noticed that one of my old friends dressed up as a Native American, and I was like, oh no.
You think that's bad? My elementary school had we would have like it would be like a over the course of like a week or so, we would do, when we were in 5th grade, like a sort of research thing, and then like a large like crafting thing. Basically, we would make I don't remember what we called it, but it was like, it would basically be like a history lesson expo on like the colonial era. So like, and people would get different groups of things. Like you would be assigned like what your topic was, and about between a third and a half of the students would get assigned Native American stuff. But that also meant, because you had to like kind of roughly dress the part, and
Oh, no.
like, so yeah, it was basically like roughly a third to a half of the kids, even when I was in high school, would be dressed up as Native Americans, teaching people about like, you know, how they'd carve bows and like, you know, other random things like that. And it's like, looking back now, I'm like, that's weird as fuck. But like,
Yeah.
I was nice. I
I'm
got to be a
really-
shipbuilder, so I just learned about like how they steamed the wood and like then bent it into shape and dried it, and that's how they made like each of the, you know, beams the right shape for the boat. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. I got the nice stuff. I also got to find out what a ball peen hammer was, because one of my friends was in blacksmith. That one was funny. We were dying because it had peen in the name.
I am.
Handball.
Oh my god. I'm so relieved. Because I remembered one of my Halloween costumes from like middle school was Cleopatra. And I got like this really terrible feeling about it, but apparently she's of Greek ancestry.
Yeah, Cleopatra
So
was
so
from the...
It's not nearly as racist as it could have been. And I'm just like, God.
Yeah, Cleopatra was one of the Greek pharaohs.
Everybody talks about her being in Egypt, so like I was
Yeah, there was the Nubian dynasty. That was the dynasty that was like from like Central Africa, and so they were like the darkest skinned pharaohs.
That's where Nefertiti comes from, right?
I think no, Nefertiti was not Nubian. She was from the ones that came in from like the Middle East. Like they kind of like came and like kind of swept down and in and conquered Egypt. The Nubian dynasty, I think, had King Tut, and like a few others. It was not extremely long, but it did go on for a little while. It was like, the dynasties were long, so like a short dynasty in Egypt was like, it was like 50 plus years that the Nubians ruled or something like that, versus like the Romans when they came in, taking over for like a good chunk of time. They were there for a while, basically till like the collapse had started in Rome. But yeah, Egypt has had a lot of different leadership from a lot of different places. It's honestly, Egyptian history is pretty cool to study.
Yeah.
Because there's like so much stuff that goes on. Also, I'm not adding a monster to my team. I'm not adding Calamity Ganon.
You're mean. He just wants to fight.
Why are you bringing on literally the worst villain of all time? All realities.
Because he's mindless, and maybe it's not his fault. I don't know.
I think I might have made him
call him a
cool.
villain. I'd call him a monster. I would not call him a villain.
Yeah, I'd say Calamity Ganon is more a monster.
He lost his sentience a long time ago, Keith. That's the lore.
I'm talking about like Ganondorf in general.
I think specifically Calamity Ganon, he's born of specifically Ganon's hatred, and like that's it. Like that's all he's got. He's just hate.
Makes him more evil, not
He's not even smart. He just hates things.
He's a really powerful ghost of a feeling.
Yeah, I feel like that makes him more
See,
evil,
look, he's
not
crying. He can't be evil. Look at him. He's lonely.
I'm sorry,
It's lonely
I
hating
would call
everything.
him- I would not call him a
I'm
villain.
not gonna
I would
trust
call him
evil
a monster.
incarnate.
I would not call him a...
In Age of Calamity, they find out how to
Villain.
control him.
Because a villain is able to... A villain's able to,
Taylor,
like...
he is actual evil incarnate. I'm not gonna trust him.
But in Age of Calamity, he's a good guy after you beat the game.
What?
Eventually, yeah, basically, because his body is mostly
Mike Wazowski
born...
is a monster, but he's not a bad guy. Like...
No, I'm talking about a villain being sentient and a monster just being, like, bad and feral. Like, I'm not saying they're, like, not both evil. I'm saying
Were you
they're
saying
different.
that Mike Wazowski from Monsters Incorporated isn't a monster, Taylor?
That's not even on the same subject!
We're literally talking about the difference between monsters and villains, and I'm bringing up the
Okay, but I
example of
was
a
not
character
talking about
who is a
some
monster but
monsters.
is not
I was
feral
talking
and
about
evil.
evil monsters!
You're talking about evil monsters? I'm
Yeah!
just talking about evil. I'm talking about evil. He's evil. I don't like him. I don't trust him. Why is he on your team?
Well, he's on your team in Age of Calamity after you beat the game, because his
Also-
body's like mostly born of like
Let him have
guardian
his
bits.
dark, Keith.
You can like replace his
This
parts
is
and
Calamity Ganon's redemption
control
arc.
him.
Okay,
In Age of
if Hitler came
Calamity,
back, would you
he's
be
just
"Yo,
like-
we should give Hitler another chance, guys.
Well, no, because Age of Calamity Ganon, when they take him over, like he's just like a wild animal. Like they don't even see him as evil after they beat him. They're like, oh, he's just destroys things, and so they basically will just like the justification for him in the post game being playable is that they're just like Zelda's there to like seal him and is like watching over, and she's just like, yeah, we'll just use him as a weapon to like fight off his monsters.
You know what?
Because he'll kill anything.
I don't trust Zelda.
So she like unleashes him for a while, and he just flails around, destroying things, like creating malice everywhere.
Triforce for a reason.
Like
No,
honestly,
I don't
his
like
mechanics
any- I don't
feel
trust
like
any
a
of this
monster. It's ridiculous.
No, kitty.
Let's see. I want him to be
What is
friends.
What is
with
that
this-
ringing noise? It sounds like a dog, but I know it can't be.
It's probably Buzz's bell.
Oh,
He's
a
scratching his
bell?
collar right now.
That's cute.
Buzz and Finn have bells. Cody does not. Cody just has tags that go tick tick tick.
Uh, uh,
Look, see, Calamity Ganon took me out in a boat, and he's
Yeah.
like showing concern for me.
he used to be a fisherman in the afterlife,
Oh no, I'm gone.
and then that
Yeah,
was cut from the files.
He's sassy.
He literally murdered you.
No, he said it was a bad idea to dance in the boat.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
What are you talking about?
I have no idea.
Ganondorf was supposed to be like a fishing guy NPC in Majora's Mask until it was cut.
Oh, that would have made sense because the Gerudo being put into like the bay area. I could see him just having been. That would have been funny. They should have done that. They shouldn't have bailed on that. That would have been funny.
Alright.
Especially if they'd had like some dramatic reveal, like you go up to see him and he like turns around and like and he's just like, "Hey there.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Hey, I'll let you fish for a while if you know."
Like, hey there, Link, do you like jazz music?
Jordan.
It's like sit down.
Good job.
You're a puppy. Sorry, Mia.
Yeah. Hey Jordan, how much longer?
Really good.
Keith and Taylor.
No, don't lick my keyboard.
I thought you said P-board. I was like, what is a P-board? Look,
Yes.
look, Ganon's scared of the silence your cell phones ad.
Jordan, are you, how much longer are you doing this?
I'm basically just rounding off the team relationships to 3, and
Look at
then
the general chat. Mia
buying
typed
anything.
binary. Look in the general chat. Mia typed binary.
A
Yo.
bunch of zeros ones, yeah.
what does it mean? I don't have time.
It.
Oh, see? He doesn't even know how to steer a horse. Like, Piranha Plant's teaching him about reins
No
and
better.
saddles.
Yeah,
The
Jordan,
horse foot things that go cloppity clop. Look at how adorable he is. And Piranha Plant doesn't know
you guys
what horseshoes are.
disgusting. You're hanging out with this absolute feral monster and like pretending like he's a normal human being.
Okay,
and-
but imagine giving him chin scritches and his, like, demon hoof foot kicking, you know?
I would actually bark. I would actually bark if someone did that to Gannon.
If someone gave him scritches on his chin.
Yeah, and like treated him like a little dog or something who's innocent and hasn't murdered hundreds of people and plunged the kingdom into chaos for hundreds of years.
Look,
Yeah, I'd be pretty fucking pissed.
if he tries to destroy the kingdom again, they just kill him. It's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on board with this plan. I'm not on board.
Look, he is actually ridiculous in the game. Like, he's not good necessarily. Like, he's ridiculously strong, but like he just like feels satisfying like the whole time because you're like just you feel like a giant monster storming around like slamming into bokoblins.
Oh, yeah.
And, like his strong
I'm
attacks,
sure
he
he's
like
fun to
releases
play.
like globs
Yeah.
of malice, and then his mechanic is when you hit ZR, he roars and the malice globs swirl back into him and make him angrier. And then he enters a rage mode when his meter's full. And his rage mode just makes all of his attacks ridiculously strong. And he's like caught on fire with like purple flames. It's cool as fuck.
I'm sure he's fun and cool to play.
I'm gonna
But
feed him
it doesn't
cake.
make him, like, a
Oh no, his
better
tummy's full. I can't give him cake.
No cake.
His tummy's too full.
Well, maybe it's good that he's not hungry for devil's food cake.
Maybe. This is devil's food cake that you get from killing actual devils. So, alright, anybody want some tea piranha plant? How
I
do
feel
you...
like this game is dangerous for our youth. What kind of lessons are we teaching them?
Forgiveness?
And murdering small animals to eat them? I don't know.
Okay, well, they're not really animals because the demons are sentient.
Oh, okay,
And like so are the
murdering-
goblins. It's weird. You
Yeah.
kill all these monsters that like they're like aware, at least when they have the faces on they're aware, but I imagine that the goblins aren't when they're without faces just going around, you know, bumping into logs. Like they're probably living somewhere, living life, you know? And there's a dragon in this game, he's completely sentient after you free him from the face. And
Do
like,
you-
so
do
why
you-
am I
do you kill
eating
him
the
and-
goblins?
Oh,
You don't kill the dragon. He actually becomes your fast travel method when you save him.
sick.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's chill. He looks really dumb, but he's chill. But I think that's... Yeah, because I can't afford the bomb. So that's everything. Oh wait, I need to give Calamity Ganon... I need him to have a war cry. That's his war cry.
I love you.
Rawr. Yeah. Alright, what is a good rawr face?
RXD.
I'll make him just Angie. Go rawr.
Just do XD.
But I got a cute little cat face.
You can do two faces.
There. 3 faces. Rawr XD XD cat face.
Here you go.
Yep. Oh yeah, I did make him cool. See, he's cool. He's cool now.
Alright. And you know what, Jordan? If
No,
you,
I'm gonna
if
make
you
him
say he's
airheaded.
cool-
I'm
if
gonna
you
make him
say he's cool,
airheaded because
Jordan,
he's
I'll
dumb.
trust you. Alright, I'll trust you. Well, I don't trust him, but I trust you. If you say he's cool, then he's cool. Okay?
Oh no, now he's airheaded. He's just dumb.
Oh, well,
Because
then why
his
would
his
you
head
want someone
empty.
else- Why would
his
you want
head
someone like
empty.
that on your team?
Sorry if you heard that.
I heard nothing. All I heard was head empty.
Oh.
Because I set Calamity Ganon to airheaded
Yeah,
instead
I
of
know.
cool. Yeah.
I just like the minute I unmuted, I burped. And I'm like,
Nice. But I'm gonna wrap up my strumb. So
I'm going.
thank you so much if you joined me live or after the fact. Either way is cool with me as long as you had fun. That said, I am going to go do human things as humans do. You should too. And Calamity Ganon is a good guy now? Question mark.
Let's hope so.
Alright.
Let's hope so.
But yeah. I gotta go click the button.